Hey, welcome back to the Crash Space. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's March 1st, 2026. Hopefully you're doing well. We have a Sunday morning stream. Excuse me one second. Okay, that should be better. That might have sounded bad at the beginning for a second there. I had two microphones on, and I think that's the first point we're going to talk about today. Firstly, hopefully you're doing well. Secondly, you might notice something here. There's no microphone in front of me. That abstractly sounds really good. So currently I am capturing my audio through, it's a shotgun microphone is what it's called. So it's one of those ones that has like a cone pattern and it's pointing directly at my face. It's slightly off camera. You can't see it. It stops right here. So I did some testing. It sounded okay. It doesn't sound as nice as the other microphone, but the other microphone's like hella expensive. But now look at all this mobility we have, right? Like I can see all my cards. I can see exactly the upgrades that end up here. It sounds okay. Like abstractly, the idea sounds okay. But kindly let me know if you're watching this or you're listening to this more accurately, whether it sounds okay. I've done some testing, but this is the first time like the metal hitting the floor. So we'll figure it out. I'll listen to the tape. If it's bad, we'll go back to the other thing. Please let me know. Hey Ninja fans, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? How's your Sunday? It is March 1st today. We have a bit of a time lock stream today, unfortunately. It's been really busy in my world of card games in general and streaming and content. For those who don't know, I always mention Netrunner. Netrunner has a new set that drops tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll be streaming most of the day. I took time off work to celebrate the new set. And my friend Pat will be joining here in the studio and we'll be playing the new cards. So if you want to jump in for that, learn some Netrunner, that's tomorrow. That being said, today we have to stop this at about 1 p.m. Eastern, and because there's another stream I have to go off and do. So yeah, there's just a lot going on this week too, because it's been the upcoming setup for the next Netrunner stream, or the next Netrunner set, excuse me. I haven't had exactly like, it's weird because I think I actually played more Marvel Champions than I think I did. But I spent this whole week playing mostly the precons of Hercules and Wonder Man and trying to figure out more about what I think about them. And they've been weird and interesting. I guess Wonder Man's right here. I'm just going to say this really quickly at the top, I guess, and before we dive into this Hercules deck, is that these two characters are kind of, I want to say hard to deck build for, but they seem way more limited to deck build for than I thought they would. And also for my personal play, so far Hercules has been way more successful than Wonder Man. I think it's really funny because when we saw early Wonder Man previews, we thought Wonder Man would be like so easy, just coasting in, healing all the time, having boosted stats, playing good on raid events. But if you ask me, while Hercules has a harder turn 1 and turn 2, Hercules has been way more consistent. Now, the precons, I know they're not very good, and I've been really struggling with them. But mostly this week, I've been playing Hercules and Wonder Man with the precons, and then now the last couple of days, I've been branching out when I have render time and stuff like that to try out some new built versions of these decks. And I don't know. It's like such a strange thing that's happening. It's like they each have restrictions that make me want to make sure that I'm building in a certain way. And it feels like it's really like restrictions and, you know, restrictions generally kind of jumpstart creativity. The fact that you only want to play energy events, for instance, or events with an energy resource on them, feels like it would like be very exciting and fun, but I can't figure it out. I honestly can't. I need more time. I haven't had enough time to like really crack it. But so far I have struggled to find a Wonder Man build that feels really cool. I just want to show you this really quickly before we dive into Hercules. This is the Wonder Man build that I've been working on so far. And the short of the long is we're playing a lot of like my favorite, you know, events with energy on it. So for instance, it's really important, and I need to shout this out at the top because I don't think we realized when we played this on last weekend. So Wonder Man's hero says, hold on, I guess it's Ionic Physiology. Ionic Physiology says, after you play an event with a printed energy resource, tuck that event from your discard pile under this card and then heal 1 damage from your identity. I did not realize this at all, and I don't think we did it wrong on stream. But you cannot tuck a card underneath Ionic Physiology unless you have taken damage. That is an unfortunate rules thing, and it's just like a no change in game state problem. It's like you can't fire the ability if the effect does not actually affect the game. So on turn 1, if you're at full health, you cannot fire this. And I think we got really lucky in the Wonder Man game that we played on stream, that on turn 1 we drew into our very good energy siphon, which allows us to take damage on turn 1. But yeah, that's an unfortunate reality. But also puts in context that like with Wonder Man, you have to take damage. So Defiance just seemed like such a good card because it means that you will guarantee take damage from the villain, which is something you want. You always want to be take damage, so you always want to be healing. But then on top of it, you don't have to take the boost card. So you know you're taking 2 damage or 3 damage, which is totally sustainable because you can usually heal 2 every round. Other cards that I like playing, Yaw and Roll seemed really good. And maybe it's too much, but Yaw and Roll, we are aerial, so it's a 1 cost, remove 3 threat, and it heals you 1. That's really good on rate. That's very, very good on rate, as much as you have to be thwarting yourself. I think that's one of the hard things with Wonderman is like, if you're not familiar with Wonderman, Wonderman pins cards underneath Wonderman, and then when you do a basic attack, all those cards get ejected. And so it's actually really important that every other turn you're doing that attack for 4 and ejecting your cards. Because if you're not ejecting your cards, you can't pin cards underneath you because it can only hold 3 cards. And if you can't pin cards underneath you, you're not healing. So you end up in this like real tense kind of fight where in theory your basic activation should always be an attack every turn, every 2 turns, probably every 2 turns. So your basic thwart is like kind of expensive because if you're thwarting with your basic thwart, it means you're exhausted. And if you're exhausted or you're stunned or you're confused, you usually can't get the cards underneath you. It like has some weird fail states that I don't think I expected at all when I saw the stuff spoiled early on. But it's like really strange. Wonderman gets goofed up by a lot of weird things. Everywhere All at Once. I didn't like this card when it came out. It's actually pretty good in Wonderman, specifically because we have the 1 upgrade that allows us to overpay for not only 1 card per turn, but every card per turn, which is pretty wild. And then this becomes generally like a 2 for 6, which is not bad at all, off 2 different things. That's really quite nice. This is also aerial, and I totally didn't realize this card was aerial, so you can play like the Power of Flight, which is kind of cool. And Power of Flight technically it's the Power of Flight? The Power of Flight. The Power of Flight technically has an energy icon in it, so it is a bit more, it works there. We're also playing Turn the Tide just for some cheap damage. Like, this is the thing, is when I built this deck, I put so many of my favorite, like, cheap events, because you want to play cheap energy events over and over again. That makes sense. And then I realized this deck that I built is technically a Justice deck, but it only has 4 Justice cards in it, because your events don't count. So the deck is, like, already so many events, except like very few aspects have payoffs for playing events. Like technically Flow Like Water does in defense, and you have what's it called, the fluid motion in aggression, but no other faction really, no other aspect has good reasons to play events. But the deck needs to be a lot of events. And then when I look at it, like, this is technically a Justice deck, but it's only technically a Justice deck because of these 4 cards. And these 4 cards don't make the deck do anything special. So I'm pretty convinced like I could change this to anybody, like any other aspect. I think there's a chance that like playing leadership is really good because Beast allows you to grab your very good resource card, and your resource card is really quite good. But yeah, it's like parts of this are really fighting each other. It's like I only want to play energy events because that's what your text is. You need to be able to attack consistently. I think Web Warrior Fanatic posted this list in which you like increase your attack stat by a lot, and then you imbue your attack stat by playing that new teamwork-esque card. But then at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense to me because if you're not ever unpinning the cards underneath you, you're functionally a blank text box. And I think that's the idea of the deck. I think that was another thing I learned really quickly on, which is also kind of weird. So Starstruck. Starstruck is a good card. It scales with your attack and it gives a stun. Even if you do this for only like 2 damage and a stun, that's probably worth it, as much as you end up paying like 3 cards for this because you have to play it, you have to overpay for it, and you have to pay for it. But the problem that I was doing is like I was mulliganing for Starstruck because not getting punched seems like a good thing to do. Like stunning the villain seems good. But it turns out like that's the wrong thing to do. Because once again, if you are not hurt, you can't fire your Ionic Physiology. So stunning the villain on turn 1 is like probably the worst thing you can do. Because then you can't take damage. And then if you can't take damage, you can't pin cards underneath you. It's like really, really strange. It's like you actually do need to get hurt. And so I know I've been mulliganing or keeping 1 Starstruck in my hand every mulligan, and that's like straight wrong. So it's good to learn it. But yeah, Wonderman's been really, really not straightforward. And as much as the precon isn't perfect, has not been performing well for me. So I think I have a lot to learn there. And I'm excited to have the proper time to dive into it. Yeah, sorry, nice haircut. Thank you. Yeah, we went for a panic last minute haircut earlier this week. Thank you. That's very kind. All right, anyways. Now changing gears. And this is another interesting thing. It's like Hercules also has a whole bunch of limitations that were not intuitive or obvious, maybe in some ways, when we first saw Hercules' kit. And so this is a list that I need to, like, I guess, confess. And it's kind of, I don't know, maybe the card pool's small enough, but I started building a Hercules list with this idea, this like one tenet of how to build Hercules. And I started building a deck, and it's the same sort of thing that there's another deck or decks on Marvel CDB that are very similar to this. So I'm going to pull up that deck because our deck is like 2-3 cards different. Mind you, I built a deck that was like 90% it, and then I generally look for other decks to see if there's any obvious like interactions I've missed, and I realized how similar these decks are, and I cribbed some ideas from them, I've changed some ideas away from them, but I'll show you the deck first that we're talking about, and I'll show you why this is. So firstly, this is Hercules avenges his friends. This is from Portinao. Portinao posted 2 decks, an aggression deck and a leadership deck for Hercules. Our version of the deck is like, hold on, it's only a couple cards different. We're very few cards different. We're 41 cards. We're over 40 still, but it's like 1 or 2 cards different and swapped out. It's like 1 ally and we changed some events. So it's not really a big difference at all. But Portinao's like description of how they think you should build Hercules very much lines up with how I thought you should build Hercules. And I think it's actually kind of interesting, but it's also kind of limiting. And so I'm really interested to see what Hercules looks like 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Because Hercules obviously has some problems that Hercules has to deal with. And it feels like those problems and how dysfunctional your deck is on the first couple turns makes it really difficult. At least the promise to build this sort of average mid-range deck doesn't make sense to me. And so I'm interested to see whether our thoughts on that change and what people can do to kind of deal with that. Because yeah, a lot of like basic deck building ideas, the idea that you can build like a Hercules deck that's a cool protection deck that does X, Y, and Z, the same way that you could pick up any hero, for me doesn't make a lot of sense. Because my thesis is the thing that you need to do with Hercules is defeat your labors. As soon as possible, you need to defeat 2 labors. If you do not defeat 2 labors, you are not a Marvel Champions deck. You are really struggling. You don't do anything. Your cards are actively bad cards. So all you have to do is make sure you get through your 2 labors as soon as possible. Now, this deck, and like Portinao's deck, is designed to get through your labors as soon as possible. It goes out of the way to make sure that everything in the deck, all you do is to get to your 2nd and 3rd labor as soon as possible. And then that's the other issue, is that once you get to your 2nd and 3rd labor, any cards that you add into your deck for deck building are usually eclipsed by your own cards. So it's like really strange. Like, let's talk about something like the Quinn Carrier. And the Quinn Carrier probably is worth playing. It was in the pre-con. It's not bad. But the sort of idea, like Avengers Mansion, okay, maybe this is a better one. And I never play Avengers Mansion. I really am not a big Avengers Mansion player. But the idea with Avengers Mansion, which is already hard to play because we have a 4-card hero hand size, is this card is really good over a long enough period of time, right? You play this on turn 1, hopefully. It's very expensive. But over enough turns, this makes up for its power and then goes further than that, okay? Now, the issue that I'm seeing with Hercules from my limited testing is that Hercules is so weak for the first couple turns. Cards are not functional, like your 3 for 5s, they don't make any sense, that you just need to go ahead and put every card in your deck to help you clear your labors as fast as possible. So Avengers Mansion does not make sense for phase 1, where phase 1 is do your labors. And once you've done your labors and your phase 2, at this point, now it's the opposite, which the cards that are in your deck, your hero cards, are now so good. Your 1 for 5s, your readies that draw a card and give you a toughness. Now those cards are so good that they're better to play than Avengers Mansion. It's odd. I don't know if we ever seen a hero like this, where like you have to kind of, at least the way I see it, you solely have to build your deck around being able to complete your labors, which means the sort of like vanilla value pieces that exist in this game are not worth playing on the first cycle. But then once you do complete your thing, they're not worth playing on the second cycle because now your deck is so absurdly cracked. Like, I'm not sure if that's the case with Ironheart. It's been a while since I played Ironheart, whether that felt like that as well. Ironheart, I think, is a bit harder to put cards in Ironheart's deck that make Ironheart complete her kind of mini quest. But there's a lot of ways to add consistency to Hercules that are a bit similar. So that's my thesis right now. That's Portinao's thesis too. I think we came to the same conclusion. And so I'll show you, let me just catch up on chat really quickly, but I'll show you what we did in deck building to make sure that's the reality. Getting some games in of MC while you can, I say, yeah, exactly. Preparing for this was like kind of tricky because we had time between other stuff, but I did actually play a lot of Marvel Champions this week, which is good. Hey, Dawn of the Final Day. Lucy, how's it going? Yes, Dawn of the Final Day. I'm doing some Eternal Super League later today as well, so it's been really busy. I'm going to have to do some like legitimate deck building like tomorrow morning when we see the cards, but I don't want to spoil the cards until like Pat's here and we open the pack, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you're well. Your mic is different. It isn't expected. You might want to check your audio source. It is different. Lucy, let me know how it sounds. Because right now I have a shotgun mic that's over here. I don't have the microphone in front of me. I did some audio testing earlier and it seemed okay. If it's like noticeably different and different like quotations not good, please let me know and we'll swap back. But yeah, I've set up a microphone so I don't have a microphone in front of me, so it's easier to play card games. Is leadership Herc's best aspect? I don't know. I think there's a chance no. It's more echoey? Yeah, I imagine so, because it is just like projecting into the room. This room is a bit small. It has like a carpet on the floor. There's not a lot of curtains, so like it does get a bit echoey. Is it unpleasant echoey? Like we should not rough this out? Or is it good enough? Because it's definitely not going to be as good as the other microphone. I'm just testing this for this, I guess. Is leadership the best? I don't know. I think the cards in this deck, their leadership cards, are probably not the most important. I think there's a chance aggression is really good for you, and Portano has an aggression list that I think you would check out. I think we can cross that bridge a bit more when we talk about the deck and what we put in our deck to be able to deal with our labors. Because our 3 labors all ask 3 different things of us. Technically, 2 of them are the same, and the third one is weird. Because our labors, 2 of the labors require us to have a really big attack stat, and then 1 of our labors requires us to defend. So one of the cool things about aggression is that you have access to things like toe-to-toe, the same way that in protection you have things like taunt that allow you to get attacked more often. And that's actually really important if you get the third labor, the labor that produces Amadeus Cho, Protect Humanity. But if you don't get that, you still have aggression cards, so you can hit really hard, whether you want to play like Savage Strike. Technically, this doesn't work against assault side schemes, I don't think. But yeah, aggression seems like maybe one of the better options. Leadership is just like smooth. It's really, really smooth. It's really, really good. I think in aggression, my guess is you're going to run into thwarting issues that leadership won't have. I think justice is probably the one that I'm not sure about. And then protection's like, I think the issue with protection is like there's good reason to play protection. Like taunt is cool. In theory, this is where it gets really weird because you want to play repurpose because readying yourself is really good. But for repurpose to be good, you need to play a tech card. And playing a tech card, especially like a 2-cost tech card like Energy Barrier, does not make sense when it comes to like your phase 1 game plan of just getting your labors done. So I can't tell. It's worse than I think I'm used to hearing your voice, but if it were random YouTube, I probably would have noticed or cared. Take that, random YouTube. Okay. Probably just need to get some sort of curtains and wall rugs up. Yeah, I might get those like wooden isolation sound slats, but I'm interested to hear what the VOD sounds like. If I don't like it and I'm a tough critic, we'll probably go back to the other microphone, but it's nice to have this play space. Okay, let's talk about these cards. So firstly, our hero kit. We're not going to spend too long on this. But our hero kit says that after we complete a labor, we get to draw 4 cards, we get a flip over. Technically, it doesn't say that. And then, of course, our alter ego kit says when the game starts, or sorry, technically on turn 1, we always do this. But when we're in alter ego later, we can grab one of our labors. Our labors are random. There's 3 of them. We don't know which one we're going to get, but we shuffle them, and then we have to complete one of our labors to be able to get the next labor. Pretty straightforward, relatively exciting, and there is a fair bit of variance on the 3 starts, as much as it seems like 2 of the labors are completed entirely identically. It's only the 3rd labor that's kind of interesting. So this is the labor that I found to be kind of really dependent on the scenario you're playing against. Defeat the Hydra gives an elite, makes a minion elite, and gives it 6 more health. That's cool. The problem with this one is that if you don't have a minion to deal with in the deck, you have to go grab the Lernian Hydra. And the Lernian Hydra is kind of a nightmare because it has 12 health and it heals a lot. And it just takes cards out of your hand to stop doing that. Like it's just difficult. This one's not that easy to deal with. It's still doable. Usually it'll take you 1 turn. Sometimes it'll take you 2 turns. But any sort of scenario where there's just like, a dumb big guy in the deck that has a lot of health, this is way better for us than having to grab the Hydra. Because the Hydra's text does suck. Notably, any minion that will die before it does anything, which is not uncommon in Marvel Champions, that's perfect. It's just a soak of health. But any minion like the Lernian Hydra that actually has active text when you attack it, that's obviously bad. So in this scenario that we're playing today, I think we have to grab the Lernian Hydra, which kind of stinks. But this one's like totally fine. It's okay. Defeat the Hydra is what you expect to do, and it's very easy for you to build a deck that can do that. Now, Protect Humanity. This one, I think, might be one of the easiest ones to complete. And it actually, again, gets you a benefit. Because when you play this, it just spawns Amadeus Cho from you, wherever he is. And Amadeus Cho just draws you a card. So you do become a 5-hand size hero, which is pretty good. But the problem with this one is that it usually takes you 3 turns to complete it. So it is by far the slowest. And the longer that you have to spend in 1 labor town, let alone 2 labor town, the worse it is for you. Because again, so much of my mentality when I'm playing and building Hercules so far is whatever it costs, just do your labors. Because once your labors are done, once 2 labors are done, your deck on average is much better than the average hero. So all our goal is to complete the labors, and Protect Humanity is good, but unfortunately you can't complete it very quickly. If I'm not mistaken, there is no way in leadership to make the villain attack you actively, but that's where like other factions have a ability to put cards into their deck to help complete this one faster if it shows up. So like Taunt, sure, you're going to be exhausted, so if you ready yourself, that's really good. Shout out to Herc's Helm by you, which is one of the best things you could possibly open in your turn 1 hand alongside Protect Humanity. The one bad thing about Protect Humanity is when you block and the villain attacks and you draw an encounter card and the villain attacks again, like that sucks because you probably lose Amadeus Cho. But yeah, Toe-to-Toe is another one. If your aspect has ways to make you get attacked, well, these cards are not very good in phase 2, which is, hey, we've completed 2 labors. In phase 1, it helps. And then finally, we have Embody Pathos, which I thought this one would be a nail in the coffin for Hercules with a 1 thwart stat. But at the end of the day, the attached scheme gets Assault, which means we thwart functionally for 3, which is more than good enough. Same idea. To complete this, all we need to do is get our attack stat up or ready ourselves. And that's the thing. Besides Protect Humanity, we have a 3 attack stat for both of these, so the best thing you can possibly do with Hercules is ready yourself over and over and over and over again. That's because most of the times when you set these things up, the things that you have to defeat have increments of 3 for their threat or their health. So for instance, if you go grab the Lernian Hydra, as much as its text might matter, it will have 12 health. Which means as long as you can ready yourself 3 times, you can knock it out in a single turn. You know, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. If you go grab a scheme with 3 threat on it, it'll have 9 threat, which means as long as you can ready yourself twice, you can clear it on the turn it comes in. That's a really, really big deal with this. And that's, I think, what just about everyone is realizing with Hercules is the best thing you can possibly do is A, increase your stats, but A++ is ready yourself over and over and over again, which multiplies the value of increasing your stats. That being said, when it comes to something with 9 threat, increasing your stats doesn't actually matter, which is kind of funny, because no matter what, it's going to take you 2 readies unless you can get your stats up to 5, in which it will take you 1 ready, just because the breakpoints don't work out well. Very notably too, again, you're the only person who can do these, so your supports, your events, your resources, your allies, they cannot interact with these in any way. It has to be you, so there are no creative builds where you have your allies help you, right? Turns out Herc is pretty good in protection, wink wink. I mean, I've tried a bit. I haven't got it to the table. I just can't make the internal logic of the protection Hercules deck does not line up with my abstract thoughts about how you should be playing Hercules. But I'm definitely excited to try it out. What is the order after labor complete? Oh, in your order? Can I draw 4 and decide to switch to alter ego? Let me check. So Hercules text says, after a labor card is added to the victory display, put the top card of the gift deck into play. Yeah, ready Hercules, you may flip. So because you put the labor into play, when you do a card in Marvel Champions, you do it sentence by sentence by sentence. So you would put the labor card in play. So say that we put the Nemean Lion Skin into play. When the Nemean Lion Skin enters play, then you draw 4 cards. So yes, you can draw your cards first, then you ready Hercules, then you decide to swap sides if you want to. So it's in the best order possible for you. I believe 99% of the time. So yeah, it works out well. Yeah, I do like Hercules a fair bit. I'm just kind of, I don't know if the word is frustrated. I just feel like I really want to see if I'm wrong about the central tenet, which we'll circle back to, but it does seem like his deck building is way more limited than I would have hoped. All right, mind you, we have the rewards here, like Nemean Lion Skin. They are not worth talking about because each one of them gives you something slightly good, and in certain scenarios, better than others. One of them gives you steady, really good, because you want to be ready and you want to be attacking and thwarting with your attack stat. One gives you retaliate, which is fine, and then one gives you piercing on your basic attacks, which is really good. Specifically in the scenario we're playing today, it's very, very important. They give you a bit of health too, but like these are not actually that important. They're just important because they're called gifts, and all the other cards in our deck care about the amount of gifts largely, like the gift of battle. And this is my thesis. 3 for 5 damage is terrible, especially in a 4 hand size hero. Once this becomes a 1 for 5, now we're cooking. And that means, unfortunately, the way I see it is entirety of our game plan needs to be completing our labors. Nothing else matters. Because again, this card is terrible until you get 2 labors. This card is really bad until you get 2 labors. Herc's Helm is sick. Herc's Helm is actually really good. This card is amazing, especially if your first labor is to protect your allies. But then all these cards here, like literally every card here, doesn't do, well, besides Amadeus Cho, who's fine, none of the cards in our kit do anything, right? Like, these are hero cards that are, I wouldn't say unplayable, but not worth playing on the first cycle of the deck until you do at least 2 labors, if you ask me. And that is about a quarter of our deck, which really feels like it pigeonholes you to the playstyle of rushing your labors. It's another issue too, and again, we've said this, that Hercules has a 4 hand size, and so having a 4 hand size, it's really important that the average card quality of your cards is really good. Because with 4 hand size, you could draw into a hand like this. And this is not good. This is really, really bad. If you don't see a lot of cards, your individual cards have to be good. And the fact that a quarter of your cards in your deck are not good until you're like through your first 1.5 labors, yeah, it really, really punishes you for not rushing your labors. Yo, Jason, keen to give this guy a go while I go back home from Asia. He seems like quite as puzzled as he said. Yeah, he's interesting. He's interesting. I've been enjoying playing him a lot. Like, as much as I have criticism, it seems like I have been enjoying him a lot. It's very, very cool. Herc in protection kills almost all minions with retaliate. Christian, yeah, this is the thing that, like, this is what's antithetical to the thing that I think I'm trying to say. And this is the thing that's, like, in some ways stymieing my excitement to build Hercules. So Hercules has this really cool card here. It's a 0-cost upgrade. It's called the Gauntlets of Hercules. Great. He writes his name on his gloves, so when he loses his gloves, someone will find his gloves. So Gauntlet of Hercules says that when Hercules defends against an attack, exhaust Gauntlets of Hercules. Hercules gains retaliate 1 for that attack for each gift card you control. Okay, cool, right? So they attack you, and if you have 2 gifts, mind you, which at that point we're already winning the game, in fact probably won the game, we have retaliate 2. If we have our Shield of Perseus, that's retaliate 3. And then of course you can play all the other cards that give you more retaliate. There's one of the recent ones in Hulkling that gives you retaliate. Then of course you can play Change of Fortune, right? But this is the issue that I've been running with Hercules, is like all of these cards, like the defense cards that give you retaliate, the Change of Fortune, all of these sort of things, like Indomitable to some extent, right? Which seem important in a list like this. None of these cards help you do your labors. They're very, very bad draws. When you're on turn 2 and your opening hand is Indomitable, your hero hand is Indomitable, Change of Fortune, and all this other stuff, it's like, it just stops you from getting to the place you need to be. And this is the frustration I have with Hercules, is like, there are cool things you can do with Hercules, but there are only cool things that work when you've already functionally won the game. Because at that point in the game, your cards are cracked. Like, you have 1 for 5s, you have a card that readies, gives you a toughness and draws a card, right? Like, at that point, the stuff that is really interesting is not necessary. And then the bloat of adding the interesting things to your deck stops you from getting to the point where you can win the game. Like, that is the inherent, like, kind of the wrench that keeps falling into the gears for me. It's like, there's some really interesting things. Like, the idea to have a 4/5 retaliate character, whatever it is, sounds so cool. Andre would love to play a 4 retaliate character. But functionally, once you get to 4 retaliate, the game should be over. And or the cards you add into your deck to capitalize on the board state where 4 retaliate is really cool stop you from getting to the 4 retaliate is cool place in the first spot. That's what I can't find out. Like, I do not know if we should just be playing Quinn Carrier. We should be playing regular Marvel Champions with a cool protection build in it, or whether we should ignore all of that and just say, like, getting through your labors is more important. And some of this might be like, you know, like spike gaming versus like having fun. But I think that's the issue, is like having fun with Hercules has been difficult when you can draw really bad hands, really small bad hands, when his average card quality is very rough. So it's not just like optimal gaming. It's also just like, it's not fun when you draw your hand and it's like an upgrade that does nothing, 2 bad attacks and like that. Like it just doesn't work out. It's like you really do struggle. Anyways, that's the large part of my thesis, is like the cool stuff might work and maybe I'm giving it not enough of a shot, but the cool stuff seems like it's actively fighting yourself. I do wish his gifts had more impactful abilities. Me too, printed on them, like stat boost or something. The most exciting part of getting them is the draw 4 cards text. Yeah, they're very, very forgettable, unfortunately. But the extra health is like nice. It definitely is nice and it feels cool to get tougher. Figured aggression would be a way to go. It solves 2 of the 3 labors by boosting your attack stats. Yeah, kind of does. I think the most important thing, though, is not even increasing your attack stats. It's just readying yourself. And for that, let's transition to all the other cards on the deck. So firstly, Lion of Olympus. This is Not the most important, but it is important. These are the cards in his kit that are actually good on the first couple turns, because Lion of Olympus gives you +1 to all your stats. Now, you have to watch out, because giving you plus to your stats doesn't always matter, because if you're trying to hit something that has like 9 threat on it with Assault, increasing your stat does not matter. You are going to have to ready twice, unless you can increase your stat twice. Son of Zeus also kind of falls into the camp. This card is probably not worth playing usually until you have at least 2 labors, because readying an identity specific upgrade doesn't often matter, and paying 2 for just a ready is a bit expensive with a 4 card hand size. But once this gives you a toughness, it's sick. Once this draws a card, obviously it's broken. At that point, you've won the game. And then this is where it ends up, where it feels to me that every Hercules deck I'm going to be playing is going to be playing these 7 cards, because this is, the idea is that the most important thing I feel like you can do in Hercules is ready yourself. Because your attack stat is really good, and most problems are solved with your attack stat. Limitless Stamina, readies yourself, it's relatively cheap. I don't think it's worth playing Depth Focus in this deck, because this is the only superpower, but Limitless Stamina is like the best card in just about any hand. It gives you flexibility, it doesn't help you thwart, but that's that. The next one is Face the Past, and Face the Past is just also very good. This readies you and draws 3 cards, and it says you can no longer attack the villain. Mind you, attacking the villain has never been my priority when I'm setting up, because my goal is just complete your labors as fast as possible, so that is not active text. Now, of course, this spawns our Nemesis. And our Nemesis is not bad. Usually we can one-shot our Nemesis if we're set up somewhat well, but otherwise having someone who attacks you for 3 is not a huge concern. Someone with Retaliate 5 health is not a huge concern. Face the Past is amazing. And then this is another thing that seems super important, because it's one of the cheap readies in the game that is also feels like it's closing the design space that I'm excited to deck build when it comes to Hercules, which is Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It says exhaust an Avenger character to ready another Avenger. We are an Avenger, so we can ready ourselves. And so now all our goal is to play as many cheap on-rate Avenger heroes so that we can always draw this and ready ourselves. Because again, that's the idea. As soon as turn 1, if we draw Embodied Pathos and we just draw Earth's Mightiest Heroes, a cheap ally, and Limitless Stamina, we can complete our gift on turn 1. And that is the thesis, complete your gifts as soon as possible. So we just need as many ready cards as we can get. Technically, our deck now has 9 different ready cards. It's about a quarter of the deck, and it is the most important effect you can give Hercules, seemingly, because it allows you to deal with 2 out of your 3 labors. Everything else here is just cards that are cheap, on tempo, thwart well, and have the Avenger tag. So there's a whole bunch of these, and you can choose your favorite here. White Tiger's really good because she draws cards. Mind you, specifically, we're playing against Apocalypse, who starts on side 3, which is just a really nice interaction here, but that's not the reason why White Tiger enters play. She's an Avenger, she thwarts for 2, and we can exhaust her to ready ourselves. Maria Hill, same thing, not you, but Maria Hill also thwarts for 2, draws a card, that's just good. Kalu is really good too. Cheap Avenger for 2 cost, also draws a card, so functionally like a cost 1, and our events are really good, either when we're in labor mode and we're trying to complete our labors, or we're in payoff mode where our labors are really good. Hugin and Moonin, I honestly don't love that much. It is technically a ready, and this is the only ready I think you have in leadership. Mind you, Protection has no active readies. Justice only has a ready when you clear all threats. Leadership, the only ready you have is this card. It's not bad. In certain scenarios, it's easier than others. Ant-Man is a bit of a stat dump, but is technically a 1-cost Avenger, which is fine. Slingshot, and in this slot you can also play our friend Grant Ward, can be a 1-cost ally, and just keeping yourself on tempo is really good. Let alone when she slingshots back into your hand, you'll have 5 hand size for the next round, which is really good. Stinger, the cheapest you can play for a leadership ally, and is an Avenger, so you can exhaust Stinger to go do your thing. And then I didn't actually realize Blade didn't take Consequential, which is sick. And while Blade's text is a bit expensive, but Blade is a 1-cost Avenger, and you just need to have the modicum of Avengers to make sure your Avengers Assemble card, whatever it's called, Earth's Mightiest Heroes card, that it can fire. You just need to play enough Avengers, and Blade is definitely one of them. Very interesting breakdown on Mr. Hercules. Hey, Andy, I haven't had a chance to play. I'm eager to see how that goes. Oh, this is the last one I'm playing, Wonder Man. And this one's really good. This was not important Nose deck. Oh, not you, but kind of funny how it's not you. Wonder Man Leadership has really good numbers. As additional cost for Wonder Man to attack, you have to discard a card from your hand. That's not that big of a deal, because we actually have ways to use our stats without exhausting exhausting the hero to use their stats without using their text blocks. But also Wonder Man's one of the cheapest Avengers, and 3 attack in a pinch is really, really important. That's the idea. We just need enough Avengers allies to ready ourselves, and then eventually do something. I've talked a lot about how I don't like teamwork. I'm liking it a bit better in this deck for sure. It says when you use your basic thwart power, thwart, or basic attack power, attack, exhaust an ally and add their stats to your stats. This is actually a really important effect. Not so much because like it can give you extra healing or can do some of the flexible stuff when it interacts with your upgrades, but because if you can increase your stat, it means you can complete one of your labors without having to ready yourself an extra time. So the idea is if we play Wonderman for 2, we can now attack for 6. And that means if we teamwork, attack for 6, 1 ready, we attack for 3, we can defeat a labor. And that's all this card is. It's a way to make your allies basically help you on your labor. I don't like cards like this because it's a conditional card based off of an ally being on the table and existing, being ready, and it functionally just comes down to a healing card. However, when you are restricted, firstly, with your allies either having bad numbers or consequential numbers or bad text, this card becomes better. But the labors force us to go out on our own, and this is the only way to functionally add our allies to our labors quest. So teamwork is not bad at all. We're also playing Avenge Me, and this card might be my favorite card. Oh my god, I love Avenge Me. I think flavorfully, it's just so fun that we can immediately build a statue for an ally we've sent into a totally doomed mission. And this card is like, it's not perfect. It is a very easy card to dump out of any hand. We have enough allies. We can block with our allies if we want. And then we just draw 2 cards. And just having a hand size of 6 cards going into the next phase is just really quite nice. This card is not always great because it is technically a bit of a slow payoff card. It's not just like tempo, but it's just like one of my favorite cards in leadership. It's so much fun. Now, resource generators, we can't really play them because it's antithetical to our idea of playing the, spending so much time and money playing the Quinn carrier, the helicarrier on turn 1. That just does not line up with our goal of completing our labors as soon as possible. So the cheapest resource generator we can play is Clarity of Purpose. You can strap it onto yourself. You can technically strap it onto an ally, but Clarity of Purpose is a 1-cost resource generator, and we have more health than we usually need, so it's good. Then we have Energy, Genius, and Strength. I just want to talk about some cards that were in this deck and that I've tested, and I think some of these are in Portano's list, which I'd recommend you to try. One of them is You Got This, which makes a fair bit of sense. I didn't realize at the time that you can do You Got This with teamwork. So you can teamwork first to get the ally stats, then you can discard that ally, and then you're basically thwarting or attacking for like 7. Like, it's really good. You can double dip. However, of course, you ready your hero, which is why the text on this is really, really good, but you discard the ally. Now, what I found out is I was really frustrated with You Got This, and that's because it doesn't fire Avenge Me, because the ally wasn't defeated, it was discarded. And I ended up in a couple board states where my allies have Avenge Me on them, but if I You Got This them, I basically am throwing at the statue and it's not firing. And I was just so upset with that I decided to not play You Got This. I think that's probably okay. I think this card's actually pretty good, especially with teamwork, it gets even better. But I think if I'm going to play You Got This, I'll probably want to cut Avenge Me. I just like Avenge Me way better, so I like to play Avenge Me. It's just a fun card. The other card I looked at is Morale Boost, and I think this one seemed really nice. It says choose a hero until the end of the round to get +1 to all their stats. It's functionally the same as our Lion card. This card's not bad. It's obviously more expensive than our Lion card. But the biggest problem with Morale Boost is that oftentimes the stat boosts don't matter unless there's certain breakpoints. The stat boosts get multiplied by the amount of readies you have, and we have a lot of readies, but there were a lot of board states where it's like, I have to attack the villain, I have to attack the minion 3 times anyways, so having 3 attack versus 4 attack does not move the needle. But I do think we have a lot of ways in leadership to boost our stats, and boosting your stats works well with readying, so you might as well try that out. Other things we tried out, Grant Ward. I think you could play this in the what's it called? The slingshot slot. I think it's fine. Mental resources are not super plentiful, but with Clarity of Purpose, I will take some damage to keep Grant Ward around, so that's okay. And then the other 2 cards that I think are worth trying to some extent is Yellow Jacket and Iron Lad. Yellow Jacket's all right. We have a lot of cheap upgrades, so this makes sense. And Yellow Jacket has good stats, especially when you want to teamwork Yellow Jacket. And then very similarly, Iron Lad works into that same camp, where Iron Lad can allow you to use Wonder Man without having to use Wonder Man, and let you to use Blade without using Blade. Like, it actually does make sense. We have a lot of allies what we don't want to use that are just on the table for different reasons. So far, Grant Ward, I felt like I actually do like Slingshot a bit better. I haven't had time to try these 2, but the problem with these 2 cards is they're a bit of a setup card, and as much as possible, we're not setting up, we're just sending it. Hey, Jai, will you be streaming through this week? Yes, so much. Tomorrow we're starting at noon Eastern and streaming all of Monday largely. Oh, excuse me, one of these buttons should work. And then Tuesday to Thursday, I'm streaming from, again, noon onwards. Maybe Thursday will be different because we're streaming in the evening. But yeah, I took the week off. I'm streaming every single day. I'm really excited. I can't remember if you said or not, but Maria Hill is an Avenger. Oh, Doug, how's it going? Yes, we have a couple cards that are just not Avengers. Not everybody's an Avenger in our list. We have Shield Spies. We have Maria Hill, who's a Shield. They're not all Avengers. Enough of them are Avengers that it hasn't been a problem, but Maria Hill is just good enough because if I haven't said it, it should be clear, our thwarting is really bad. We have one thwart, and so Maria Hill is just kind of like a godsend on certain turns, let alone we can block with her. But thwarting 4 draw cards for really good text, as much as she does Balloon in multiplayer. What's this new week? New Netrunner stuff? Yeah, a new set comes out on Monday. Technically tonight at midnight, I think. But it is like 66 new cards, which is really exciting because Netrunner does not get new content as regularly as other card games. And it's always very, very exciting. This set looks really good too. Makes total sense with Avenge Me? Exactly, yeah. Avenge Me does not care who you attach it to. So as long as you're an Avenger, you can avenge me on anyone. So Maria Hill draws 3 cards usually. Thwarts 4. It's really good. That's the idea. And like, again, without repeating myself too much, this is the problem I've had with Hercules. It's like there's cool things you can do with Hercules, but from my experience, the cool things are butting up with doing your labors. And doing your labors seems so important that you put a lot of card slots into doing your labors. But then the issue is once you've done your labors, the benefit of doing your labors is usually better than the cool things you're going to put in your deck in the first place. And so I feel like a lot of the Hercules decks I will be playing are just kind of like value slop, tempo slop, if we want to call it that. Like as many cheap readies as you can possibly play, and then just as cheap, efficient cards to put into gaps to be basically smooth out the path to get there. I think there's different flavors of this. Like aggression does play different cards. Leadership is this. Justice, I'm not sure what it looks like. Protection is probably possible. It's probably possible. But at the end of the day, like your most important cards is the card that just says ready you. Like that's unfortunate, but it does look like it's the case. Okay, let's give this a shuffle. I think the audio is great, Joshua. Okay, fantastic. That's really good to hear. I think I'm peaking a wee bit. Like I don't have the levels down right, but it's really nice to be able to see the whole playmat and not have a microphone in the way. I need to play more Netrunner. Only played a few games with friends who have it. I'm really bad at it. I mean, everyone's bad at Netrunner when they start. The game's really strange. There's nothing really like it. If you don't know, the new No Single Games Netrunner is like as accessible as possible. So for instance, if you go out to the World Championship, you can play with proxies. Like you can just print off a deck list, cut it up, put it in sleeves, and bring it to an event. The game wants you to play the game actively, and they make it as accessible as possible. So if you want to grab like their new learn to play like core set called System Gateway, you can grab it today for free. It's incredible. Or if you want it professionally printed and sent from their store, it's not super expensive, but yeah, game's really good. Hey Joel, how's it going? How's everyone else been finding out Hercules? I found Hercules pre-con and solo to be like really frustrating. There's a lot of cards that were just like alter ego specific, which like Hercules has no good way to get into alter ego in a meaningful way besides the turn that he completes a labor. I just want to say, oh yeah, my favorite thing about Hercules is when you finish Protect Humanity while the villain attacks you, then you immediately ready, then you go into alter ego, and then you start your turn in alter ego. That one is so fun because the limitation on Hercules is if you want to do Hercules' cool text, it's once per phase. So the fact that you can fire Protect Humanity during the villain phase and then during the next hero phase, probably with your like 8 card hand size, immediately complete the next labor. That is like my favorite part of Hercules. That turn feels so good. They had all the old FFG cards and they have all the new System Gateway cards. Oh, very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. We're at this point as of last year that all the old FFG cards have rotated out of the standard format. So it's like entirely NSG and it's been really good. It's been really good as much as the format is obviously much smaller in terms of cards. But it's wild to say if it's not obvious. Null Signal Games has been supporting Netrunner now longer than Fantasy Flight Games ever has, which is kind of cool. Technically that was true as of like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. All right, let's give that a cut. These are our buttons for different things that we'll get when we complete our labors, if we complete our labors. This scenario is a bit tricky because we actually have big threats as soon as turn 1. So I guess we should talk about this. This is Apocalypse. Apocalypse is a really cool scenario. I think it's one of the most interestingly designed scenarios. I like the scenario a heck of a lot. And it deals with Apocalypse, who has only 10 health. Technically, there's an Apocalypse 4, so if Apocalypse advances to Apocalypse 4, that won't be the end of the world. But this main scheme also only has 10 threat. The way that it works is if we ever defeat Apocalypse, Apocalypse resets Apocalypse's health and the threat comes down. If the threat ever completes, Apocalypse advances to Apocalypse 4, and that's an issue. Apocalypse 4 is the last Apocalypse, but it's this really kind of cool thing where like we have two ways to deal with threat. That in some ways is good for Hercules, because we technically could go through the whole scenario without threatening the main scheme, as long as we're knocking out Apocalypse every turn or every 2 turns. It's really cool. The Age of Apocalypse. This is just such a cool scenario. All right, here we go. So we're going to play stock standard. Are we playing standard or expert? We're playing standard. We're playing standard. Okay. So, we're playing standard right now. Okay, I think we're just going to play expert. Technically, we're in Apocalypse 3, which is expert mode, but I forgot to shuffle these into the deck. So we'll put Under Fire, Exhaustion, and Master Plan. I am 70% confident we can do this. It might be obvious the fact that I'm shuffling this in is my test game yesterday. I forgot to shuffle these in, but I did play on Apocalypse 3. These are really bad cards. Like, they're not good cards. But I think there's a chance we can do this. We might wipe. If we wipe, we'll probably put it down to standard. We can only stream for about 2 hours more today, which should be enough to do Apocalypse twice. But Apocalypse is one of the trickier ones for sure. All right, we're playing stock standard. So the encounter set has Apocalypse. Wolf Among Sheep is a really important card to keep in mind. I think there might be 3 of them, but it just says Apocalypse activates against you. That's rough. The Prelates, we have to defeat 4 of them. They all have 5 health and toughness, and they have technically text if they survive. Dark Riders is really good because it has a minion with 6 health in it, who's not very strong, so that's going to help us a lot. And then the Infinites has Gene Pool on the table. And Gene Pool says whenever an ally is defeated by non-consequential damage, we have to put 3 threat on it. Technically, the threat on it doesn't actively matter, but then there's a whole bunch of small minions that either have guard, well, they always have guard, but they'll have quick strike, surge, or extra health depending on how much threat's on Gene Pool. So this one, we're really disincentivized from chump blocking, which hopefully our 14 health goes far. I should dive into your other channel and see what I can learn. I'm assuming your presentation is just as good, if not better, than your awesome presentation. It is the technology that this channel is based off of. So when Pat is over tomorrow and we're streaming the new set, I pull up all the cards. I have everything going. So it's exactly the same setup. All right. Cool. Let's flip this over. Also, thank you for the kind words. So the backside of this says X is the numeral in Apocalypse's printed hit point value. So technically it's 10. That's funny how that's worded. And forced to interrupt when Apocalypse would be defeated. Instead, discard each attachment from him. And it has a bunch of attachments that you can only discard this way. Heal all damage from him. And instead remove X threat from the scheme, ignoring Crisis. So again, if you defeat Apocalypse, he full heals, but it resets this, which is fun. Now, we start here with the Heart of the Empire. I know there's text that we haven't done yet. It says threat cannot be removed from the scheme while a prelate minion is in play, and it does always have this acceleration. And when defeated, the first player reveals the next prelate, and then we flip this over. The next side has 2 acceleration. The third side has 3 acceleration. The fourth side finally allows us to defeat Apocalypse. Because as you might have seen at this point, Apocalypse is invulnerable. There's no way to defeat Apocalypse, which is really cool. It's a really fun fight. This is a Gene Pool. It's permanent setup, so it's always going to stay there. And it says after an ally is defeated, place 3 threat here. All right, we have 5 prelates. I don't know, one of them we hate more than another, but they all have 5 health toughness. Technically, they're very important we knock out because the majority of them have text that fires when they activate against us. So we're going to need to die a fair bit today, so we'll do 1 on left. 6 is a reroll. 6 is a reroll. The microphone is picking that up way louder. Apologies if that sucks. And it's Mikhail Rasputin. So Mikhail here. This prelate, 5 health toughness, as they all do. I'll just keep that there. Where did Mikhail go? Mikhail disappeared. Oh, there you are. Mikhail Rasputin engages the first player. Toughness, victory 3. Force interrupt when Mikhail attacks you, deal 1 damage to your identity. So it's like 3 attack, whatever. It doesn't have villainous, so it's actually not that bad. This is the one that we could probably leave with us. But Apocalypse cannot take damage while this is in play. And that's the whole setup. So we have to defeat 4 prelates. Then we have to defeat Apocalypse, but we're going to have to defeat Apocalypse multiple times. It's good that we have another way to deal with threat that's not attack-based or not thwart-based, but that's largely it. I think we'll do our mulligan here. Hey, Andre, my friend. How's it going, Matthew? Let's go. I'm doing good. It's been really busy, but next week I have most of the week off to do streaming for Netrunner, so it's really exciting. Later today is another Eternal Netrunner stream, which means we have to get cut off here at 1, but it's good. Is that Colossus's big brother? Wait, Colossus is Pyotr Rasputin? No way. Wait, is that... Oh my god, yeah. I find it so funny that, like... Slavic names in pop culture, there's like 6 names you can possibly have. And like Pyotr is real, but like, oh, Rasputin, yeah, that's a Slavic name. Everyone knows that name, so everyone has. Anyways, yeah, it does seem like they're brothers. All right, our alter ego text, we have 6 hand size, which is good. We always are going to grab our labor. I think it is interesting. There are some board states where you don't grab your third labor. 2 labors is enough, depending on how far behind you are. Because sometimes the third labor is a problem, especially because you obviously know which one it is. And if you can tell it's a problem, it's not always worth pursuing. That's another issue too, is like protect humanity is the easy labor to pop to go down to alter ego. But it's actually hard sometimes to get your second or third labor because you have to jump down to alter ego to get it. And we have no card flipping and we have no confuse. That is legitimately an issue. Is if protect humanity is not your first labor or sometimes your second labor, it's very hard to get your second or third labor because for those you have to go to alter ego, and our kit has no support for getting into alter ego. Keep that in mind. All right, it's Hugin Amunin. Now, Hugin Amunin is cheap and attacked for 1. That on its own is worth something because Mikhail Rasputin has toughness and attacking for 1 seems good. Avenge Me, we don't often keep. If we mulligan and had this in our hand, it'd be fine. I'll put these in the maybe category. Energy is probably a keep. Limitless Stamina we always keep. One of the easiest things you can hedge for is that keep as many readies in your opening hand, because if we open up with the one that makes us have to clear a side scheme, with 2 readies we can usually clear a side scheme. I'm pretty sure there's a 3-threat side scheme in this deck. Maria Hill, probably worth keeping. She has the energy, which is nice, and she can take off Mikhail Rasputin's toughness if we need to. And then we have Wonder Man, who is harder to use on turn 1. So if we have 1 more ready, which we have a lot of cards in our deck that are ready, we can deal with this. We want to increase our stats. There's a big chance Limitless Stamina will just be used to knock out Mikhail Rasputin, because then we can attack with Maria, attack Hercules, Limitless, attack Mikhail again. That probably is fine. I think that's okay. Avenge Me is like really cute, but I think we just want to have a chance to draw into something more important. Drawing into Herc's Helm is like one of the best things in your opening hand, because there's a 1 in 3 chance we get the thing that we need to protect our friend. Another weird thing too is like if you draw into Amadeus, you want to spend Amadeus as a resource to get him to your discard pile before revealing your gift. Which in theory you always want to reveal your gift first to figure out how you have to spend your cards. But in theory Amadeus is the one card that you want to spend before your gift. Slingshot, okay, she's going to be really cheap. That actually might help. We'll play her for an energy if we have it. The Gift of Battle, again, these cards are garbage in your first cycle. I'm not going to pay 3 for 5. And Earth the Mightiest Heroes, actually, we have no, unfortunately, maybe this was worth keeping instead of Maria keeping Wonder Man, because we have no Avengers here. We did unfortunately draw our 2 non-Avenger allies. I think these are the only 2 allies. Oh no, that's not true. We drew 3 of our non-Avenger allies. I think our other 7 allies are all Avengers, if I'm not mistaken. So that's unfortunate. All right, I think we're just going to roll a die and do our alter ego text. So we're going to go search, or not search, randomly grab a labor. So 1, 2 is on left, 5, 6 is on right. Hey, is MSJ also New Hulk? I'm not sure. Pat, how's it going, by the way? I don't know who the character is. 3, so we go middle. Okay, this one's doable. We might be able to do this on turn 1. Oh, no, we can't. We would need another ready, and we needed an ally for that. So it is attached minion gets plus 6 hit points. When revealed, find a non-elite minion with 6 printed hit points, reveal it, heal all damage from it. It's going to have 6 health. Now, we would have to get the Laridian Hydra if there's no other option, but this encounter set has one option, which is, it does have bad text if you can't defeat it, and I think we're 1 activation short of defeating it. Notably, we're the only person who can do this, but Tusk is technically a legal option. Tusk is not bad if we want to stay in alter ego. But Tusk has teamwork, so that's another reason to knock it out. Teamwork says that if another teamwork character from this trait comes in, they'll activate. But after Tusk attacks you, you're stunned. That's pretty bad text. Yeah, that's not good. So our hand has only 6 damage. Maria Hill could draw into something. There is a chance that we will do attack for 3. We might actually just gift a Battle Tusk. Because in theory, our hand has 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Oh no, that's still short. Yeah, 6 plus 5 is 11. Okay. Yeah, unfortunate. If we kept our guy, we'd have been able to do it. Amadeus Cho is Brawn. Oh yeah, but Brawn is a Hulkling, right? Like a Hulk. A Gamma champion. Okay, so that's all we have to do, knock out Tusk. We don't want Tusk to activate, so let's figure out this problem. Obviously, we have Mikhail Rasputin here, which I don't think is a priority anymore. So things that we could do. Tusk is going to suck, because when Tusk attacks, you are stunned. In theory, I think, oh man, I have to answer how you is like. I think you is, if an ally blocks, it's no longer you. So we could block with Maria Hill. Because the attack is initiated against us, but it's after attacks you. So if an ally gets in the way, I'm pretty sure that doesn't work. So we could do Maria Hill. We could attack for 3. We could Limitless for 3. And then we can put down Slingshot. That uses our whole hand, let alone we'll have one more card. If we draw another ready, we can do 3, 6, 9. Yeah, it's not good enough. If we draw a Teamwork, we can do 3, 6, 7, 8. That's not enough. So I don't think we can defeat Tusk on turn 1. Okay, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. We'll still start with Maria Hill. So Maria Hill, we draw a card. It's Blade. Oh no, we're not gonna be able to do it still. We need also another Teamwork. But Blade is a cheap Avenger as far as Avengers go. So again, nobody can attack Tusk besides us. So maybe we want to just deal with Mikhail Rasputin. I don't think that's the case. I think we want to deal with Tusk. So we attack Tusk. We can instead play Blade. We could ready. So we attack for 9. And we have 2 allies on the table. Getting this down to 2 health is also really important. 2 health is really good, or sorry, 2 threat, because it means that we no longer have a quick strike off of the minions that we can draw. So there's another chance that we just go for Slingshot instead. So there's no way that we can play Gift of Battle and everything else. Because if we want to play something like this, that is a ready. So again, yeah, that's not good enough. That's 3, 6, 9 into this. If we want to play Slingshot, Slingshot adds another card to our hand, which is not bad next turn. So we want to play Slingshot, that's this. That doesn't use our hand well, so I think we don't play Slingshot here. So I think we just do what we think we do. So we'll play Blade. We will attack for 3. We'll flip it to hero mode first. So we can attack for 3. Tusk is going to take us 2 turns. Getting a labor down on turn 2, we shouldn't be upset about it for sure, but we're going to have to top deck another ready because Tusk will stun us. So we'll attack for 3 into Tusk. Down to 9. We'll pitch Slingshot for limitless stamina. So we're ready. And we'll attack for 3 more. Then we'll do Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So this will exhaust an Avenger. Blade is a Vampire Avenger. We'll ready ourselves because we're an Avenger. And then we'll attack for 3 one more time. So we were 1 ready short. A Teamwork wouldn't have done it. So it's hard to do 12 damage. If that was the side scheme one, we would have cleared down this turn, ready to draw 4 cards, and basically had 2 turns in a row. So yeah, still not a bad start. Okay, from this point, Maria Hill can either take the toughness off or can knock out Gene Pool. I'm going to go ahead and just knock down Gene Pool because we're going to take a fair bit of damage this turn. And now this means that we won't have Quick Strike on the 6 minions, the infinites in the deck. We're going to take a punishment here for sure. Mikhail attacks for 3, Tusk attacks for 2, Apocalypse attacks for 3 and a card. We might be in a really bad spot here. Healing is really hard because we need our labors to get our healing going. But the problem is we have no good way of jumping down to all 3 go. I really did not realize Blade takes no consequential. Man, Blade's better than I thought, and I already thought Blade was pretty good. We'll draw to 4. 1, Strength, nice, it has us on it. Stinger. Okay. The nice thing about no microphone is that now this spot is accessible. And ready, which is good, so that means as long as Blade survives, we can knock out Tusk. And we have a Son of Zeus, which is not worth playing until we get... Technically, it's the same on our first labor and our 0 labor. So we have 2 readies in our hand. We should be able to pop off here. All right, this goes to 3. Villain attacks us for 3 and a card. If we exhaust here to block, it's not very good. We have 2 readies in our hand, so we technically can still beat Tusk, but I think we just take it. 3, 4, 5 damage. Ow. Then Tusk attacks for 2. We, in theory, could block with Maria Hill to not take a stun and heal 2 damage. The problem is it puts 3 threat on the Gene Pool. I think we probably do that. We're taking a fair bit of damage. I'm going to block with Maria. We don't need the thwarting that much. I'll block with Maria. Tusk takes out Maria. Now, Gene Pool says, whenever an ally leaves play and not through consequential or is defeated, this goes up to 5. Okay. So Mikhail Rasputin now attacks us for functionally 3, because after deal 1 damage to your identity, and we draw 1 encounter card. All right, that's fine. This one doesn't actually technically do anything. So molecular acceleration, sorry, that's not it. Molecular control. So we attach this to Apocalypse. I'm just going to slide this over. Mind you, Apocalypse is steady. And so now Apocalypse has Retaliate 1 and Stalwart, which the only way to get rid of this is defeating Apocalypse, which is something we want to do anyways. We have no Stun or Confuse, so Stalwart's not relevant, which is nice. But it's back to us. All right. So if we attack Tusk, we ready immediately and we draw 4 cards. We can jump down to Alter Ego. Jumping down to Alter Ego is nice because we could recover 4. We probably can just go grab our next labor and see where it goes. But already on turn 1, we're going to complete 1 labor. That seems really important, especially because we didn't draw too many of our cards that scale about the number of labors. So that's really good. The best thing we could draw here is, I think, the Sword of Peleus, because giving piercing to our basic attack against Mikhail seems really nice, as much as we might not recover. So with that being said, I think we just attack for 3 and we knock out Tusk. Teamwork didn't fire that turn, which is also nice. There's a bit of a risk. And now we get to do our stuff. So defeat the Hydra is now added to the victory display. Technically, now we do the text on Hercules 1 line at a time. So after a labor is added to the victory display, put the top card of the gift deck into play. So I'm just going to roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5. All right, it's the Shield of Perseus. So not the best one. This one gives us Retaliate and +1 health. So we recover 1. Abilities that trigger after when enemy attacks you is resolved when after a player's attack, regardless of which character they control is attacked. Really? When after enemy attacks you? Yeah, because the attack was initiated against us. It's like the Spider-Man text, isn't it? When the villain initiates. Oh, but this one says initiates. So Gulby, you're saying Tusk will stun us. Okay, if that's the case, we are going to retcon this. So we're just going to take 3 less threat on this, because there's no reason to tank Maria for 2 damage. So technically we are stunned, so we're going to just do this in a slightly better way. So we're on 5 health. Maria Hill's ready. Our first attack, we have to get rid of the stunned, and then we're just going to do Stinger. We're going to do Earth's Mightiest to ready ourselves, and then we'll attack again. Cool. Compared to Enchantress, same text. Which Enchantress? Oh, like Villain Enchantress, excuse me. After Enchantress attacks you, place 1 charm counter. Yeah, that one is more intuitive to me for some reason. Okay, so we were stunned. We're going to Earth Mightiest Heroes. Good catch. Thank you for the stun. And now we're going to knock out our friend here. So, okay, back to our hero. We put this into play. Notably, when the Shield of Peleus, let alone all of them come into play, we just draw 4 cards. Hold on, this is not right. Nope. Yep, that's right. Shield of Perseus. So we'll draw 4. We'll have our Golden Mace. Again, cards don't do anything until you have your labors. This is now technically doing something that matters. We have a Teamwork, which we could keep Maria Hill around. Probably not the turn to do that. A Lion of Olympus is good, especially if we draw another Ready, which we could. In theory, Lion of Olympus plus Golden Mace knocks out Mikhail. And we have an Avenge Me, which this is the cool thing about Avenge Me. You can just pop it on Maria Hill and send her on her way and see what happens, which is just really quite fun. We'll then jump down to Alter Ego, and we will ready. Cool. I'm late and also stuck home. Like, hey, Sniper, hopefully you're feeling better. I'm guessing this is game 2? No, this is game 1. We were blathering about Hercules for like the first half hour. But this is only like turn 2, so you haven't missed anything. Okay, so we can attach Avenge Me to Maria Hill. The issue is whenever you're grabbing a labor, there's a chance the labor grabs Amadeus Cho. Grabbing Amadeus Cho from your deck is much better. In theory, you could grab Amadeus Cho to your hand and use Amadeus Cho to get played, but we're going to try and avoid that. My guess is on this turn, we're going to use Maria Hill to knock the toughness off, and then we're going to knock out Mikhail Rasputin. So if that's the case, I think we just got to get our next labor. If it's the one that adds a threat or a side scheme to the table, we can thwart for 4. We have a ready. We can thwart for 9. So we actually can clear a 3 threat labor on turn 2, which seems really good. So I think we can just rip it. So we're just going to use our text to randomly go grab one of our labors. If we complete it though, actually no, this is the issue. We completed our labor during the hero phase, and so we actually don't want to complete the second labor during the hero phase. So if the next labor is a side scheme where we will intentionally not complete it, because this ability to flip yourself and ready yourself is only once per phase. So clearing 2 labors in the same phase is probably a mistake. You technically only lose a ready, you still draw 4 cards. But yeah, I think we'll still go for it. The best case here is we draw Amadeus Cho, I think, because we'll have no allies or minions. Sorry, I meant to say 1, 2, 3 on left, 4, 5, 6 on right. All right, that's not the best one. It's Embody Pathos. So this sucks too, because now the last labor, we have to jump back down to Alter Ego to deal with it, and that's not easy. It will be the turn that we complete this. Actually, that's not that bad. That's honestly fine. So we have to go find an encounter side scheme that is not in play and add 6 threat to it, and it gains assault. So we'll still need this. So the side schemes that we have access to, there's not too many. The Apocalypse solution is like terrifying. Firstly, the name, terrifying. When defeated, discard the top 10 cards of the encounter deck. Not our deck, the encounter deck, which means we get to an acceleration a lot faster. It only has 3 threat and a crisis. Technically, that'll be 9 threat, which means we can clear it in 2 turns, no issue. So that's definitely in the maybe camp. There's not too many options. There's 2 of them. The Dark Riders. When revealed, discard cards until you get a Dark Riders minion. I don't want to do that. This scenario, I remember yesterday not having that many, like, inconsequential. Like the fact that if you play against dystopian nightmares, which shows up in the first 2 scenarios in this campaign, they just have a crisis, and it just gets you confused, which doesn't matter. So I think we're gonna grab that one. This is the deck too, yeah. Okay, so that's here. And we have to put 6 extra threat on it. This does have assault, which means we can use our attack to thwart it, and we're the only person who can thwart it. So that's our work for next turn. Hercules is so much fun. I love the labor gift minigame. Has me hopeful for the future. The designs have been really genuinely cool. The hero designs have been fantastic. Could totally be recency bias, but I think Herc might be my favorite hero. I would be like so excited to say that. I think I'm in the camp right now that I'm pretty sure I'm going to get bored of Hercules. Because I think Hercules has a very linear game plan. Right? Like, I think this is why we spent the first hour talking about Hercules today, is I'm worried that every Hercules deck that I'm going to play is going to be the same Hercules deck. Because as the way that you can see that I think about things, completing your labors as fast as possible is so important. And so it's hard to build a weird Hercules deck, because then you're not completing your labors and then your cards are bad. If you complete 2 labors in 1 phase, you don't even get the gift. Wait, the gift is also once per phase? Hold on, I should read this more carefully. Oh my god, yeah, you don't even get a gift. You literally get nothing. That's so funny. Okay, so we're clearly not going to finish this one. I think we're going to take a recover 4 while we're down here, because we don't have that much else to do. Actually, no, I think the most important thing is, can we deal with Mikhail Rasputin? Can we deal with Mikhail if we don't recover? So Maria Hill can take off the toughness, draw 2 cards. Then we can attack for 5, and then that does it. Yeah, this is 5 damage. Yeah, so we can definitely recover 4. Because the ready we have in our hand is Son of Zeus. So we'll recover 4 while we can. We took a lot of damage. We'll flip up, because our flip was not our once per turn flip. We will go ahead and put Avenge Me on Maria Hill, which is just my favorite card. Oh my god, is this card so cool. I love this statue. And then we're going to use Maria Hill to take the toughness off of Mikhail Rasputin. She is defeated. It is technically too consequential, so we don't have to deal with the gene pool, and she draws 2 cards. Face the Past. Oh my god. Yeah, this is where like you have too many readies now that you don't want to clear too many side schemes at once. Sorry, you don't want to clear too many labors at once, but Face the Past here is like very doable. It's very, very doable. All right. I think we'll hold on to Face the Past for next turn, because it is just that good. And next turn we'll definitely have this labor cleared, so we'll definitely have 5 attacks, so we can definitely, many definitely's, one-shot Ares who shows up. So we'll play Lion of Olympus. This just gives us +1 to all our stats. I guess I can move these up. It's for the whole round, which is nice. And then we're going to throw out Teamwork, is my guess, for our Golden Mace. This gives us overkill and +1 attack, only during an attack though, for each gift, so it puts us up at 5 attack, which is perfect. We will go ahead and strength out Son of Zeus. So we ready ourselves, and we technically can ready an upgrade that's not relevant. And then we'll simply swing for 4, make it 5 damage, knocking out Mikhail. Enters the victory display. Okay, it leaves us with this hand. I think we're going to hold on to Face the Past, so we'll just play Stinger. Stinger's really important. It's not only a panic block, which is kind of disincentivized with Gene Pool, but more so it's a cheap ally, a cheap Avenger ally for any of our Avenger stuff. I think that's it. We'll hold on to Face the Past. Seems okay. Things are going okay. I could see getting bored for sure, but there's something super satisfying about taking him against super hard scenarios and figuring a way out. I've seen some great games against Magneto. Yeah, like the meta of posting on our Marvel CDB, like Ronin difficult and all this sort of stuff. I find it very funny. I have no doubt that the Hercules decks are actually quite good, but a lot of it is like ignore the scenario while you set up, which is kind of funny. All right, we have 2 readies. Not a great hand, but we'll be drawing 4 more cards. Protection is super awesome for him. Change of fortune with all the retaliate, it gets great. And again, I'm repeating myself, I'm aware, but like I just don't understand it. It's like the payoff only works when you're already at the point of the game where you should be winning the game. Because change of fortune is only good once you've done 2 plus labors, and then these cards don't help you complete your labors. I probably should just try it and see it's like not as disastrous as I fear it might be. But yeah, I'm always a bit concerned about it. It doesn't seem like it philosophically lines up. All right, this goes to 5. Apocalypse attacks for 3 in a card. We could just take it to the face. We want to have 2 readies, which is exactly what we have. This is actually kind of tense. We exactly have enough readies to deal with this. So I think we're just going to take it. We have retaliate, which will take off the toughness. So 3. Nice. Not getting an advance is good. So we'll take 3. Your Herc's helm is so good. We don't have it. So we'll take 3, and the villain takes 1 off retaliate. Encounter card. Blech. All right. This is probably bad. So we advance 2 in a row. So Apocalypse schemes for 1, 2, 3. This goes to 8. So this is an issue. So we might have to knock out Apocalypse this turn to bring this down. Because we can only thwart this if we thwart this first. We only have to take 1 threat off of this. The issue is if we want to clear this, we have to play Face the Past. And Face the Past says you cannot attack the villain anymore. So my guess is that we're going to use Stinger to drop this to 7. Now, both advances are out, which at least that's good. There's a couple cards that say Apocalypse just activates against you. That's usually bad. This is gone, mind you. So I think we're going to try and clear it next turn. And this turn, we're just going to get our second labor. And then we're also going to get Amadeus Cho guaranteed this turn. So we're going to draw 5 more cards. Definitely try before you knock it. Yeah, I need to. But that's the thing, like, cuts both ways. This is not a card I want to draw on my 4-card hand size when I'm on, like, 1 labor. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It seems so tricky. I'm currently tweaking a protection deck with him that uses the androids to protect Amadeus. It's been calling it my Blade Runner deck. It's been a fun, thematically weird. I'll be publishing it soon. That's sick. I know Victor Mancha is like, I was trying to build the deck too, to some extent. Like they are some of the cheapest. Victor's one of the cheapest Avengers, which I do think you want to have cheap Avengers if you want to ready yourself. All right, that's it, right? Let's go. Attack for 3. We will, I guess we'll start with Face the Past to get more options. So we remove this from the game. We go grab our Nemesis, who's not that bad. That's Ares. So Ares has 5 health and retaliate. We draw 3 cards. We got a Genius, nice. We got Avenge Me, okay. And we have another Line of Olympus. I don't think Line of Olympus actually hits breakpoints that matter this turn. We ready ourselves, and we can no longer attack Apocalypse. To remember that, I'm just going to put Face the Past in front of Apocalypse so we don't accidentally mess it up. All right. Now, Golden Mace we can't actually use. And again, we have a stat buffer, but we have to thwart this twice, so it doesn't matter. If we drew a Teamwork, we would still have to do it twice. Actually, no, we wouldn't have to do it twice. So we're just going to go ahead and thwart for 3. Now we have a double, which is nice. So Genius into the last Son of Zeus. So this just readies us. It technically could ready our Golden Mace, but we have no good way of making that make sense. And then we'll thwart again, clearing the solution. So I don't know the order of these. I'm just going to do this first. So here we have to discard the top 10 cards of the deck, of the encounter deck. So we lose Synapse. Wolf Among Sheep is really important to keep track of because this card is very, very strong. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We lost Master Plan, which is really good because there's a lot of side schemes in play, so we're happy about that. I think on average, this actually helped us. We lost a lot of Infinite Soldiers, which stinks because we're good at knocking out Infinite Soldiers. It's one of our best ways of doing little healing, but that's it. Okay. Now we do all our text. So we ready ourselves. Which button do I have to hit? We grab one of our labors. 1, 2, 3 is on left. 4, 5, 6. All right, we got the piercing one. That one's good. We haven't got stunned or confused yet. So Sword of Peleus, we get +1 hit point. And our attacks, our basic attacks, have piercing. That helps. We will flip down. We might as well. And then we'll draw 4 cards. So turn 3, 2 labors. 1, 2. And the last labor is the one that's harder to do. 3, 4. Okay, this is great. And this is what I mean. Like now, you know how many more cards we're going to draw this turn? Right? Like we can play White Tiger for 1 card, draw 3. Like this is going to be absurd. And this is what I mean. Like labor maxing seems so like the thing to be doing that I don't understand all the moving pieces. This is in the victory display. All right, before we draw more cards, and luckily we didn't draw, we're going to use our ability to grab our last labor, which is Protect Humanity. So we go spawn Amadeus Cho. Amadeus Cho is now in play, and we can use Amadeus Cho either to thwart for 1 or attack for 1. Amadeus Cho, you have to be a bit careful in these scenarios because as if there's 6 or more threat on them, the infinites have Quick Strike for 2, which totally one-shots Amadeus Cho. Tony, how are Herc and Wonder Man? Interesting. Well, I think Hercules seems to be way more powerful than Wonder Man, which is like the opposite of what everyone expected. I find the deck building in both of them to be like kind of weirdly restrictive, but we're having a great time so far. Hercules has been a lot of fun, which is I think the best part. Okay. So now we have Amadeus Cho. We can get our stats up to 5, no problem. We can teamwork Hercules into Blade. Okay, so I think we're actually going to thwart a bit here. We could rush the next thing. The problem is if we complete Heart of the Empire, the card on the back of it has 2 acceleration, so this will hit 11. So that's not good, unless we thwart it a heck of a lot. But like we have so many options this turn, it's really funny. We're going to start with Olympus, which glad that we did not draw this in the first half of the deck. This now generates 2 wild resources because we have 2 labors. We could maybe get a wee bit of healing with the Prince of Power. Yeah, I guess we could. I think before we do anything, are we going to recover 4? No, I don't think so. We have no more readies in our hand, so being ready is important. We'll flip up. We will use Olympus to generate 2 wild resources, and then I think we're going to toss Clarity Purpose. I don't think we need it anymore. And we have a 4th ally slot because Stinger does not count. We'll play White Tiger. Now, White Tiger is just good, but she has really good text in this scenario. Because after you play White Tiger, draw X cards to a maximum of 3, where X is the villain stage number. The villain stage number is 3. It can go up to 4. So she draws 3 more cards. 1, hey, Helm is good. Stamina is good. Kalu's good. Yeah, let's go. Hey, Mila. Can't stay to hang out, unfortunately, but good morning. Hi, chat. Wanted to pop in, just say, and dump this big box of cheesy paper Valentine hearts. You're happy hunting. Thank you, Mila. Hopefully you're well. Maybe you'll be watching some Neverwinter next week. It's a really exciting time. Olympus is wild. The fact that it costs 0, yes. But like it needed to cost 0 because it doesn't do anything. It's like, it feels good, but you understand why they did it, I guess. Cho, we can draw 1 more card. Okay, so I think we'll now just set up. Another ally doesn't matter, so we'll pitch that for the Prince of Power. Prince of Power now adds a bit of healing, and we now have a basic attack for 5, so we can knock out Ares and heal in the same time. That's good. I'm just going to dump this because we always play this. Herc's Helm is incredible, especially now that we have to block for Amadeus Cho, because Herc's Helm makes you the defender without exhausting and reduces the damage, so we can stay ready against Apocalypse. All right, things that we want to do. So Limitless Stamina is not amazing. I think we'll use Limitless Stamina probably to thwart. So Line of Olympus is okay. Teamwork is okay. Wisdom of Athena is okay. So I think we probably don't ready. I think we do Wisdom for 4 threat off of this. I think we probably just heal max here because our healing is not good. So we get attack for 3, 4, 5. We can exhaust Blade to make it 7 to heal 2. That's fine. We can make it 8 with Olympus and do that. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's everything we need to do. So we will play 1 for Wisdom of Athena. So these cards get cheaper for every labor. They only cost us 1, so 8 goes down to 4. We cut it in half. Great. Both of the advances are out, so we're safe. We will now play Line of Olympus. This is a bit of a wasted value. It's like not the most important. It's just 1 more healing, so our stats go up by 1. Then we're going to do a basic attack against Ares. We attack for 3, 4. We're going to exhaust the Golden Mace. So we're attacking for 6, not the Golden Horse. So 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll play Teamwork here. So we'll exhaust Blade, so we're attacking for 8. So 5 damage hits Ares. We defeat Ares, and we don't take Retaliate because we defeat it in 1 shot. And then we can do the Prince of Power. And now we recover 3 because we did 3 overkill damage. Oh, and the overkill damage hits Apocalypse. Technically, this is not an attack against Apocalypse, so overkill can hit Apocalypse, I'm pretty sure. Because Face the Past just says you can't attack him, but overkill is not attack. Yeah, it's not you can't damage, it's just you can't attack. Sick. Very good. In theory, we missed the card draw with Amadeus Cho. I'll do it now. We drew an Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I mean, still technically playable. And we have a buff stats, so why not? Okay, so we will put an Avenge Me on who's the most likely to get knocked out. I think White Tiger is the one we probably want to use before we deck out. So we'll put on White Tiger, and we'll thwart with White Tiger and then defeat White Tiger. We'll Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So we will exhaust Stinger to ready ourselves. We still have 4 attack. We will let White Tiger thwart for 2. And unfortunately, we can't do much. We'll just thwart for 2 off this because we can't attack. And we'll pass. And this is what I mean. This is turn 3. Our board state is nonsense. It is so good. And we did this by like very, very single-mindedly rushing this down. And it'll be a couple turns before we get our 3rd ability. But yeah, it's very satisfying. Very fun engine pieces. A lot that works together well. We draw 4. Gift of Battle, it's 1 for 5. Wisdom of Athena, 1 for 4. Teamwork, nice. And a limitless stamina, perfect. Readies are good. Okay, this goes to 4. This is removed from game. Apocalypse is attacking us. Technically attacking Amadeus Cho for 3. We could go ahead and block here. We have technically, why is this on a 4? We technically have a 3 defense stat. I'm not going to use Herc's Helm, because in theory we can use Herc's Helm to respond if Apocalypse attacks us again. But I think here we probably, like, being ready is not super important. All we have to do is, like, knock out Apocalypse, which is good. This is the end of turn 3, yeah. This is going into turn 4. We take 3 turns, if I'm not mistaken. I thought we were at the end game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is turn 3. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is a decision. I think we block 3 here. Our healing is good, as long as we find minions. The problem is we knocked out a whole bunch of infinite soldiers. And we still have a couple Dark Riders in there. I think we'll just defend 3. If we get attacked again, then we'll use Herc's Helm. So 3, 4, 5, 6, massive attack. So we block 3 of them, so we'll take 3. Villain takes Retaliate 1, and Protect Humanity loses a counter. 1 counter card. The Fittest, I think this just surges because it can't attach to anybody. All right, the Dark Riders. We're going to get a minion. That's good. So Hinder 1 comes in with 3 threat. Each Dark Rider minion gets toughness when revealed. Discard cards from the counter deck until Dark Riders. Our deck actually did get damaged a fair bit. Oh, top card. It's Gauntlet. So toughness, which we do have piercing, 5 health, and that's it. 4 ally slots? Yeah, Stinger doesn't care. That's all Stinger's text. Does not count against your ally limit. But good catch. Keep us honest. You have to block because of Protect Humanity, don't you? Yes, but the question is, do we block with Herc's Helm or do we block with ourselves? That was the decision. Either we exhaust ourselves to use our 3 defense stat, or we use Herc's Helm and only defend for 1. That was the question we were deciding. Like, you might be asking, why didn't I use Herc's Helm on that defense? And the reason is Herc's Helm will now let us respond if we draw an encounter card that says Apocalypse attacks again, because then we can Herc's Helm that one. So that's why we didn't technically use both of them. Have you taken next week off work? I have. I've taken Monday and Friday off, and then I took Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm only working the morning, so I'm working 3 hours, 4 hours in the morning. So I start early, I finish at lunch, and then I have the whole day off after that. So yeah, I have taken a fair bit of time off. Okay, it is us. Board state good. We might be at the point that we want to push to the next thing and just close things out, which is good. Wow. We got a lot of moving pieces here. Ideally, we want to start with White Tiger, who draws 2 cards, but it empties our deck. She'll draw a Gift of Battle and Gauntlets of Hercules, which is like fine. Amadeus Cho could 50-50 these, so I guess I'll roll a die if we have to draw it, because it's hard to shuffle 2 cards. We want to knock out Gauntlet. Probably going to do Hercules Blade. So that means we probably limitless stamina ourselves. So I think getting these cards back into the deck for the cycle is actually really important, so we want to play these first. Issue is these costing 1 versus costing 0 is such a big difference, and we cannot like rush our way through clearing Amadeus Cho. So if that's the case, I think we'll start with Amadeus Cho just to draw a card. So we'll just draw. I guess we'll roll a die. So 1, 2, 3 on the left. 1, 2. All right, we got Drew the Gift of Battle. That's fine. So our basic attack is piercing, so we need to ready ourselves. So I'm going to use a Gift of Battle on a limitless stamina just to ready ourselves. Okay. Then we'll do a basic attack. We'll attack for 3. We'll use Teamwork. So we'll exhaust Blade. So we're attacking for 5. We'll make it 6, 7 with Overkill. So 5 hits Gauntlet. It has piercing. And then 2 hits Apocalypse down to 4 health. We overkilled 2 damage. So we'll use the Prince of Power to recover 2. Okay, cool. If we knock out Apocalypse, it only clears 4 threat off of this, which isn't good. So my guess is we use Wisdom of Athena to clear the Dark Riders, get these in our deck, and then we'll use White Tiger to probably just like... I mean, if we draw already, Yeah. Do we actually just clear this? Maybe we just clear this. Because if we knock this out with White Tiger, we spawn a thing. That thing we can take the toughness off with Stinger, and then we can gift a battle the thing. It puts these out of the circulation, which is not great. No, it's actually fine. Because Olympus can play one of them. Yeah, I think that's okay. So we're going to do Olympus into Wisdom of Athena. Well, so we'll clear the Dark Riders. No. Yeah, we'll clear the Dark Riders. And then we'll use White Tiger to thwart 2 in the Heart of Empire, clearing it. So White Tiger gets knocked out, and technically we do this text first, and then she draws 2 cards. So we draw 1, which is our Gauntlets, which we'll play because it just gives us a lot of retaliate as long as we're defending, which we defend for free. We get an encounter card, and we're owed 1 more card. Grolix, yeah, it's a fun matchup. It's really fun because you have extra like problems on turn 1, but like the fact that we have piercing and we can attack for 5 breakpoints, it really does help in this scenario a lot. So far, so good. And the fact that we can like fight against our downside of not thwarting well with attacking well, also really, really nice. I think Apocalypse is like, this is what I meant when like Civil War came out, and Civil War has to be modular, so there's not a lot of like bespoke scenario design. This is the sort of scenario design that I find so charming, and it's like the highlight of Marvel Champions. Really interesting scenario design that's both thematic and mechanically dense. Do White Tiger and Avenge Me make the reshuffle? That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure. I think you're right. It probably doesn't. Because Avenge Me is an interrupt when attached ally is defeated. So does defeated, when a card is defeated, does it fire from the table or does it fire from the discard pile? I think that's a really important question. Yeah, Apocalypse may be my favorite scenario. It is so cool. It gives you so many levers to play with. I really, really like that a heck of a lot. I'm going to say it doesn't. I would have to dive into the rule book, but that's a good question. Yeah, there's a chance it doesn't, which is a bummer because she's one of our best allies. But yeah, my guess, like intuitively, my read would be that defeated fires from the table, not from the discard pile. So technically, the draw 2 happens and they miss the cycle. That's a good catch. I did not expect him to be as much fun as he has been. He's been a lot of fun. He's genuinely been a lot of fun. Man, Avenge Me is also just like the most cool card. I'm not a big leadership fan, but damn, I want to jam Avenge Me into everything. It's good that this card wasn't basic because it would be in every single deck, I think. I think you can hear the shuffling now because of the new microphone. All right, another gifted battle. My issue with solo sometimes is games attack heavy heroes can be too short for me, so Apocalypse fixed that really easily. Yes, yeah. I don't like playing Rush, so like that's the issue. I think a last game on stream, we like had a game where I'm pretty sure we had lethal, but we were so like we were trying to finish the labor. And like if we put all the damage we did into the labor into the villain, we would have won, and that's like a funny thing to keep in mind. Yeah, Avenge Me is so fun. All right, so we can play 1 Gifted Battle and a Gauntlets. Gifted Battle clears this, so I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to do... Oh, we cleared this. I was like, how are we going to clear this? So Heart of Empire triggers. So this says, when defeated, the first player draws a prelate. So we have 4 left. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have the Shadow King. This one, I believe, eats our allies. Then we flip this over. The backside has 4 threat on it, or sorry, 3 threat, and it comes with 2 of these things, acceleration. So this will go up to 7. This is the Shadow King, who is shown up in a lot of different ways through this game. 5 health toughness, as normally does. And it says after the Shadow King attacks you, we're not going to care about that text. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to use Stinger to take off the toughness. We're going to do the Gifted Battle for the Gifted Battle, knocking out the Shadow King. Our cards are really quite good now. So that knocks out the Shadow King to the victory display. I'm worried. Where did I put the last one? Oh, no. Mikhail's here. Okay. And then we'll just go ahead and play our Gauntlets of Hercules, which is really good. In fact, Gauntlets of Hercules puts us, unfortunately, only at Retaliate. I'm going to put this up here. At Retaliate 3. But if we put this at Retaliate 4, we could actually knock out Apocalypse at the best time possible, which is during the attack, before we could draw a card that adds threat to the main scheme. And we'll pass. And we are probably 1 turn away from popping off, which is the last labor turn. Want to try Avenge Me with Captain Marvel? Just draw all the cards? You draw a lot of cards. Okay. No microphone. Perfectly clean board. 1. Wisdom of Athena. Nice. 2. Limitless. Perfect. Slingshot. Nice. Cheap. and Hugin and Moonin, which if we want to search for some healing, that's a nice way to do it. Now this goes to 7. Again, when it hits 10, Apocalypse advances to Apocalypse 4, which has Overkill, if I'm not mistaken. Apocalypse is attacking for 3 in a card. We definitely want to block. We could block for 2 and keep our helm around. 3 in a card is a lot. We have a ready in our hand, so I'm not too stressed about anything. In theory, we want to be rushing this down, but our goal is to knock out Apocalypse. I think we are going to defend. So we're going to keep our helm available in case we have to get attacked again. So that's it. So we're going to be attacked for 3, 4, 5. So we'll take 3. The villain will take Retaliate 1, but we're also going to do our gauntlets, which give us Retaliate 3. So the villain is down to 1 health. And if we knock it out, it clears 7 threat, which is good. 2 encounter cards, so it's kind of sketchy. Hard Drive, nice. We like minions. Hard Drive is Teamwork Forced. After Hard Drive attacks, you place 1 threat on every scheme. Okay. This is the one that we're playing around, so this means we're going to pop off this turn. So Wolf Among Sheep, the Prelate minion activates, otherwise Apocalypse activates. So Apocalypse is attacking for 3 in a card. This is why we kept Herc's Helm around. So we're going to use Herc's Helm. So we're technically defending, so we're blocking for 1. So it's 1, 2, 3. A bunch of things are going to trigger here in a ridiculous order. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we take 3. But a couple things happen. Firstly, this should have been a 1. Now technically it's 0. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do Retaliate to Apocalypse. So Apocalypse will take Retaliate 1, which is enough to knock out Apocalypse. When Apocalypse is knocked out, oh, I recovered 1, sorry. I always think R1 is Retaliate 1, that's Recover 1. So the villain will take 1. That means Apocalypse will reset, because the text on the Age of Apocalypse says when Apocalypse would be defeated, don't, and instead remove all the threat from here. We also get rid of this attachment, so we lose the Retaliate, which I have a sinking suspicion we might have forgot about. But that's that. Apocalypse now resets to 10 health. Or a 10 health, yeah. Villain set 10. We crack Protect Humanity. So we do all our text. We go grab the Nemean Lion Skin. Board game, thank you so much. Good morning. Been binging your content like crazy. Just incredible work. Thank you. Love the commentary and energy. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for, I think they're called super likes. That's very, very kind. Thank you. Glad you've been appreciating the content, honestly. That's on its own the biggest reward, but thank you. That is very kind. Glad you appreciate it. This is our Nemean Lion. I think this is turn 5, maybe. So plus 2 hit points. We now have Steady, and there is some Stun or Confuse, mostly because of the Dark Riders. We will choose to flip down to Alter Ego. We will ready. And of course, we draw 4 cards. And we're now fully labored up. Cool. Notably, too, Amadeus Cho will still be targeted by all the minions, but won't be attacked by the villain anymore, which is great. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all our triggers. And like at this point, it should be easy sailing. I think there's a chance that we can win this turn. We are a bit banged up, but we now do basic attacks for 6 with Overkill recovery. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I think there is a small chance we're able to win this turn. Maybe we don't have enough damage. I think if we had 1 more Gift of Battle in our deck, we'd probably have enough damage. But we have a couple attacks. The only way we can lose now is like being attacked too much. So probably recovering for 4 is like a bit prudent. But Wisdom of Athena clears this for free. Wisdom of Athena clears the next one for free. We have to defeat 2 prelates. So if we had a Son of Zeus, we'd be pretty good because it readies our Golden Mace, because only we have 3 attack technically without the Golden Mace. We could Avenge Me on Stinger to draw 2 more cards. We can Amadeus to draw a card. We'll start with Amadeus. So we'll use Amadeus to draw 1. It's a teamwork. Okay. So that means we can attack for 5 twice. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to one-shot this. I think we're going to do as much as we can. Yeah, I think we're just going to do as much as we can. So I'm going to recover 4 because we can't win this turn, so we might as well be a bit safe. So we'll recover 4. Up to 9. Okay, we'll flip. I forget that we have Olympus for 3 resources. That's so bug wild. Yeah, okay. So we will... I guess we'll just Wisdom of for Athena right now. So we'll remove 4 threat. The Towering Citadel flips over. It just gets another, another acceleration. And we have to go grab another prelate. So we'll do 1, 2 on left, 5, 6 on right. It's 3, it's the middle. It's El Abyss. Sad the Quebecois. Ooh, not you. 5 health toughness. After Abyss activates against you, attach the top card of your deck face down, gets plus 2 hit points. So like you just need to knock it out in 1 turn, and they usually don't have text. The only one that has text, I believe, is Mr. Sinister, who has Retaliate. That's the only one that has active text. This flips. Yeah, Hercules is a lot of fun. Like, if you want a powerful build, it's really fun. I just think that is like, my concern is I think every Hercules deck that I'm going to be build is very, very similar. Because the readies are the best thing you can do. The question is, how many readies do you have? So, cannot be removed while there's a prelate in play. And then once we clear this, we have no more acceleration. So clearing this, we will definitely do this turn, and then probably one more turn for Apocalypse. Okay, so we are exhausted. We are, yeah, exhausted. Literally exhausted. So we're going to go ahead and just do Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So we will exhaust Stinger, who is an Avenger, to ready Hercules. Hercules can do more healing off of Hard Drive. How many people can we knock out? We can attack for 5. We can attack for 5. That's it. So we might get hit by the last prelate if we want to clear the threat off of this. I don't think we have to clear the threat off of this because there's no more advances in the deck. It wastes our wisdom though, so we probably will just be tank a hit either from hard drive. No, we'll probably just tank a hit from the prelate. Okay. So let's attack for 3. Yeah, we're just going to attack for 3. And I'm going to teamwork Blade. So we're attacking for 5. Knocks out Abyss. I guess we're going to need that toughness back in a second. So that's good. We're not going to do any healing because we're going to knock out hard drive, I think. And then we're going to go ahead and play Limitless Stamina. I guess we'll just get rid of Hugin and Moonin for Limitless. I don't like Hugin and Moonin that much. I think it's like minions are kind of a struggle when you're setting up. Maybe it's worth something. Because you can ready multiple allies too. That's good. So ready yourself. Cool. We will now play another free Wisdom of Athena. Remove 4 threat from this. Final text, the Tyrant's Throne. It's also nice to do this when technically Apocalypse is full health. Because when you flip this, you have to heal Apocalypse. And you can't heal Apocalypse if Apocalypse is at full health. Reveals Prelate. Discard each other player in a counter card. Sorry, draw. Flip this card over and no longer worthy. So 1, 2, 3 is Mr. Sinister. 4, 5, 6 is the Sugarman. It's Mr. Sinister. The one that can technically hit the hardest, so a bit scary. 5 health, toughness, but also retaliate and villainous. So it's going to get a boost card if we don't defeat it. I think there's a chance that this one's better to defeat. And then finally we flip this over and you get no longer worthy. So this says attach Apocalypse and heal 5 damage. You can't heal damage that hasn't been sustained. Ignore the Force Interrupt on the main scheme. So now when we defeat Apocalypse, Apocalypse stays defeated. Force Interrupt when Apocalypse is defeated, the players win the game. So that's it. All we have to do now is 10 more damage. The thing is, Apocalypse cannot take damage while Prelate is in play, so we have to knock out Mr. Sinister first. I see the teamwork. Have you come around on the card? I mean, a bit. It's much better in this one. Like, the idea behind this deck is to use your allies to help you, like, to do your labors at all costs. And for that, it's been pretty good. I've also built into the deck, like, more allies. And this is, mind you, very similar to another deck posted, largely based on it, let's just say, that have good numbers, but bad text. So, like, Blade obviously is really good. Wonderband's really good. So it does go even further in the deck, which I like. Okay, we're gonna Olympus out Slingshot for full price. So now we have Slingshot. Again, we have 4 ally slots because Stinger doesn't count. Can we win? We have to do 15 damage to win. I don't think we can win this turn. We can only knock out one of these people. Yeah, we can only knock out one of these. So we're gonna just go ahead and attack for 3. We'll use the Golden Mace. So we have 6 attack. We'll knock out Mr. Sinister. We don't take Retaliate, and we recover 1, and we do 1 overkill damage to Apocalypse. I have this bin off camera. I'll show you at the end of the game. It's really messy at this point. Hard drive we can't defeat. We're going to go ahead and put an Avenge Me, I guess, on Stinger, who's the most likely to get knocked out if something terrible happens. Prince of Power healed us 1. Did we? Yeah, Prince of Power recovered 1, I'm pretty sure. We have an extra Genius in our hand, which is like the thing that happens once you're fully set up. So I guess we'll just use Slingshot to attack 2 into the villain. And we'll pass. And it's funny now that the storm has calmed. Like, only adding 1 threat a turn is such a ridiculous change of pace when we're meant to add 4. So that's 1. We'll draw 4 cards. They don't really matter. Strength. Son of Zeus is absurd. Clarity, Purpose, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, absurd. Okay. So that's it. One threat, Apocalypse attacks for 3 in a card. We can probably just take this. Doesn't really matter here. If we want to block with Stinger, it adds 3 threats, so then we can add Quick Strike to minions, but we do draw 2 cards. It doesn't matter. So here, I guess we'll just Herc's Helm. So we're considered the blocker. So 3 damage, we'll take 2. And then we'll retaliate with Gauntlets of Hercules for 4. So the villain takes 4 damage down to 3. Hard Drive will now attack us. Hard Drive attacks us for 1, I'm pretty sure. And after Hard Drive attacks, you place 1 threat on each scheme. So it goes to 2, goes to 1. 1 counter card. Okay, this doesn't matter. Cyberpathy. Attach to Apocalypse. After Apocalypse schemes, place 1 threat on each side scheme. That's it. All we have to do is attack for 6, and we have Apocalypse. It is not coming back. Man, Avenge Me feels broken. Chump block and draw cards. Avenge Me is busted. The card is so good. It does have the limitation of you have to be an Avenger, which like that is like the big rate limiter. But yeah, it is awesome. Just like such a fun card. Leadership is obviously like very good. I don't honestly think I use this so much for chump blocking, and that's because we generally need our allies to thwart and do other stuff. But how much damage do you think we had on this turn, right? Like we play as Son of Zeus. We ready the Golden Mace. Like, again, maybe we should play this turn out. Let's recover 6 from the villain. Like, this is what the final turn looks like, which is absurd. I'm not going to knock out Hard Drive as much as we can. But what we can do here is we can attack for 6. Villain takes 6. We Olympus to Son of Zeus. We draw a card. We give ourselves a toughness. We ready ourselves. Great. We play Lion of Olympus, excuse me. We have +1 to all our stats. We would have loved to draw those in the other order. We can now attack for 1, 2, 3, 4. This is readied. When we play Son of Zeus, we attack for 7. Villain takes 7. Great. We Earth's Mightiest Hero. I guess we should have Amadeus Cho first, technically, and we would have drawn this, so we would have got 1 more damage. Regardless, we'll Amadeus Cho to draw a card. It's another Son of Zeus. This turn is absurd. So, yeah, big difference here. Then we'll go ahead and Strength for Son of Zeus. We ready, we draw a card. We can't get a second toughness. We will attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 into the villain. We will go ahead and... Is Maria Hill better than another guaranteed 4 damage? Probably not. So if we drew this top card... Oh, it turns out it's the same. That's really funny. So this is... Technically, we got lucky here. But then we could... Oh, wait. Actually, that's not the case. We can attack with Stinger for 1 to the villain. Stinger gets knocked out. We draw 2 cards. We should have done that first, and we would have drawn this for 1 more damage. Oh my god. This is absurd. We do the Gift of Battle for 5 more damage. Villain takes 5. Great. Now each of these is worth... Oh, we only have 1 Avenger, so we'll pitch 2 for Maria Hill. She draws a card. Okay, that's the most we can do. Then we can attack with Slingshot for 2. Attack with Maria Hill for 1. Attack with Blade for 2, gets discarded, doesn't matter. Oh, no, it's better to technically Earth Mightiest Hero's Blade to attack for 2 more. -30. -30. -30. This is what I mean. I don't understand it. It's like you need to rush down your labors. And then when your labors are on the table, your deck is absurd. Like, I'm not sure if you need all the cute protection cards that do all those sort of like change of forts and stuff. It's probably fun. And let's be honest, fun is the most important thing. But like from all my experience with from Hercules, it is like just rush your labors, because once your labors are done, you just cook. Just cook. Doesn't Hard Drive attack Cho in this situation? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, technically you're right. So we would heal 1 more. It doesn't matter, but good catch. I definitely need a Cho aura at the front, because once I get rid of the labor, I keep forgetting that Amadeus Cho has active text, which honestly sometimes can help you. Hercules' final engine is turbocharged and drives straight into outage. It's like, geez, I hope you're not a villain, because it's going to hurt. This is at the end how messy my box is of dice and counters and set-aside cards. That's pretty bad. Usually it's much nicer than that. Herc is way fun. Way more fun so far than Wonder Man, but I have no doubt there's going to be some really fun Wonder Man builds. Justice needs more aspect cards ASAP. I feel like Justice is the most boring right now. I think you're right. I think the designers have done really good to make leadership much more interesting than just like ally spam, as much as Avenge Me is a bit of an ally spam card. 100%. Protection has been really interesting for the last 2 years. Aggression has got one more interesting. Justice hasn't got that much more interesting. It's weird how that is. Justice, to me, yeah, might be the least interesting thing to do. All right, it's only noon. We have about another hour in stream. Let's run it back. I think we're going to go play against Dark Beast and just try and finish off the campaign mode. Because I've already played against the Horseman and what's it called? You know the one. Unis. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It's good. Herc's good. Herc's good. Fun too. Good and fun. Fun and good. I want Justice to have a card like Moment of Triumph, so if you overthwart a scheme, you heal that much HP. Don't you have a card like that? I'm pretty sure you have a card like that. It has Daredevil on it. You heal 2. It's pretty good. You have to do a basic thwart, though. I think the thing that Justice needs is overkill for thwart. Like, I've no doubt we'll see it sooner than later, but thwart overkill seems like a thing that we should have seen by now. Which I guess is like Overwatch or whatever. There's a couple Justice cards that I don't play a lot in solo that I think a lot of people are more familiar with. All right, I just need to take out, I'm pretty sure, Standard under Obligation. That's another thing that we didn't mention. Our Obligation is really bad. Our Obligation, I don't have the card art for this, but our Obligation is like frustrating, and it's the sort of like Valkyrie frustration, where to get rid of this, you need to jump down into Alter Ego, but your kit has no good way to get down to Alter Ego. It's just like Valkyrie. Like Valkyrie, admittedly, Valkyrie falls apart way more. We fall apart a fair bit, but not like disasters. But any kit that requires you to jump down to Alter Ego to do your Obligation really stops you in its path. But then their kit doesn't have a way to help you get down to Alter Ego. I can find to be pretty annoying sometimes. And like we have no good way to get to Alter Ego besides finishing one of our labors, I guess. Maybe that's the reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's it. All right. Let's unlight all these buttons. Reset our health. You're thinking of making an entrance? That's the one. Is this not... How good is this card? It's been a while since I played it. +2 thwart. After the thwart ends, if your hero removed all threat, heal 2 damage. I mean, like, that's not bad. It has to be a basic thwart, though, which is kind of hard. I think player side schemes were a big buff for Justice. Gobi, I totally agree with you, but like out of any aspect, the aspect that has my least favorite player side schemes by a mile is Justice. And my guess is that the Justice side schemes have to be balanced around the idea that you're playing Justice. So you already have like your investigator that draws a card every time you clear a side scheme. But if you ask me, like out of all the side schemes, I almost never play the Justice ones when I'm playing Justice, and I just play the basic ones because the Justice side schemes don't excite me. Maybe y'all feel differently, but the Justice side schemes don't do it. All right, it's a beast, Dark Beast, villain named Dark Beast. All right, Dark Beast, 18 health. We're gonna go doing some time traveling. I would love to get the Blue Moon because the Blue Moon is the one set that has a 6 health minion, and it's interesting because it's all about gladiatorial combat. But if you don't know, there's a bunch of set aside places, and we randomly go to one of them. So either we can get dinosaurs or retaliate. Blue Moon is a bit combat oriented, and then Genosha. We need dystopian nightmares here, don't we? Yeah, we do. 1 second. I'm convinced now that I'm terrible at assessing heroes from previews, so I'm hoping Daredevil looks terrible. We're hoping for the worst out here. I don't know. It is something that's worth like talking about, and I think this is fascinating. I thought Wonder Man would be so smooth and so easy. I love when people talk about cards before they're released because it tells you a lot about like how we each think about the game, what we prioritize, the things that have hurt us in the past. Like there's a lot to talk about. But Wonder Man so far for me is just clumsy, like surprisingly clumsy. It seemed like the smoothest thing. There are clips you can find of me on the stream saying like, oh, it seems like it's autopilot, heal everything, +1 stat, good events. And it turns out it's not the case. And Hercules also looked awful. That being said, like the big thing that opens up Hercules to let you play the sort of way that we played in the last game is readying. And I don't know if people looked at the Hercules preview and just thought, oh, jam every ready card in there. Because that is the most important thing you can do in Hercules is just ready yourself as much as possible because 3 attack is really good. And most of your labors, 3 attack does it. Dark Beast is my personal nemesis. He's so basic but still challenging. I don't mind him. I don't find him as in... I would really wish that Dark Beast got the same treatment that Thunderbolts did, where they printed multiple... Like, in the packs that came out later, they printed multiple timelines. The fact that there's only 3, I wish there's way more than 3. 5 is sick. But yeah, having people misevaluate or reevaluate is like such a cool thing about card games. And I want to be very clear. It's not like oh, someone was right, someone was wrong. It's more so to be like, oh, what did we learn from this? Hey Forrest, I'm struggling to be creative in deck building and aggression. Besides firepower, fluid motion, and hone technique, I have a hard time building a fun engine outside of boosting damage. Yeah. No, I think you're experiencing what other people are experiencing. I think at the end of the day, firepower was like a really big boon. I think overkill also got a fair bit of support with like, admittedly, what's it called? Bambino and that sort of like Savage Strike builds. Those are interesting. I think the aggression allies have been consistently pretty good. Like I like Winter Soldier a fair bit. I like Captain America a fair bit. Those are good. I don't mind Deathblock. I think you're right. It could be wider, but like no quarter, mind you, is a fun thing to do. I don't know. I think the bigger thing is like I'm finding the heroes that I want to play aggression in are more interesting. Like Winter Soldier is more interesting. Tigra is so interesting. And I think that is doing a fair bit of heavy lifting, admittedly. Evil Genius is a game-ending treachery in solo. Yeah, the one where he thwarts with like 2 boost cards. It's really bad. I think you just never jumped out to Alter Ego if you can avoid it. All right. Dark Beasts. Bogus Journey. Dark Beast. So what are we looking at here? It's Dark Beast Bogus Journey. I've never seen Bill and Ted. Is it good? So Dark Beast, Evil Genius, they're at the front. It's pretty bad. It's an additional boost card on a scheme, or no, only on attack. That's a bad one. Then 2 of these will be entering the game if things go our way. Blue Moon is about the combatorial arena. Genosha is about hiding from the hegemonic police, anti-mutant police. And Savage Land is about taking Retaliate and discarding your cards. A whole bunch of, not 6 health, but 5 health. Dystopian Nightmare has Targeted for Extermination is a really good side scheme for Embody Pathos. It's only 9 threat, and all it is a crisis and it confuses you, which is like not a big deal. Being confused is not a problem for us. So that's really good to know. Oh, I shuffled in the goggles. That's on me. I spent so much time shuffling. We don't have that much more time. So I think we're going to try and play faster in this one because I have to be out of here. Wait, where are the goggles? I have to be out here at a certain point in time. Where are the goggles? No one saw the goggles there, right? Huh, 1 second. Does anyone know where the goggles are? Does anyone got spare goggles? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, where are the goggles at? It's in attachments. They have the stats on the left, so they're usually easy to see. Warweary, experiment. What the heck? That's concerning. Not in here. One moment, please. Ow. That was gravity. Ultimately, that was gravity's fault. Okay, that's good. Let's hear. All right, so this is attached. That's all we have to do here. All right, Dark Beast's Bogus Journey. It's so weird to not have a microphone and just walk away from the table, and I think you can largely still hear me. No Quarter is really fun. Forrest, the weird thing about No Quarter, it's one of the cards that actually incentivizes you in some ways to have a deck bigger than your minimum deck size, just so you can maximum the amount of aggression cards in your list. It is ultimately a card that wants you to do more damage, so it still works with the sort of, firepower buffing stuff, but it is what it is. Okay, 1 threat. 10 is not that high. If this goes through, we lose the game. High-tech goggles, we have to do the thing on the thing to get rid of this. So exhaust your hero, resolve the special ability, otherwise +1 scheme, and there's a bunch of multiple activation cards in this set. Now, excuse me, I'm out of breath apparently for picking a card off the floor. Reveal a random set-aside environment and shuffle the rest. Deal each player an encounter card. So 1, 2, 5, 6. I would really love Blue Area of the Moon. We always get Savage Land on camera, which is like, whatever, it's fine. But this is the least interesting one if you ask me. Yes! All right. Blue Moon. So the setup card says each minion gains guard. We generally don't mind that. That's not the worst thing. We generally don't attack the villain until it really matters. Specials deal 1 damage to your identity. We have 14 health, but that will add up because Dark Beast fires that every time Dark Beast attacks. And then we shuffle these cards. So this is really important, mostly because we have the Gladiator who has big stats, but has 6 health, which means we technically have an in-deck target if we need to go fight something that's not the Hydra. I'll just shuffle these in a bit. A bit nicer than that. All right, now when we do advance to Dark Beast 3, if we do advance to Dark Beast 3, one of these other timelines will return. So they will get mixed together. All right, that's mostly it. We should be off. It's a pretty generic, there's a bit of replayability for sure, but there's not much you have to play around in this scenario besides watch out. It's not uncommon there's like 6 cards in the deck, I think, maybe 7, that says Dark Beast activates again. So that's something we have to watch out for Amadeus, but it's also just like, don't jump down to Alter Ego. Even with the Confuse, it can be a bit sketchy. We'll definitely take care of the goggles. It requires us to exhaust ourselves. In hindsight, we won't get rid of the goggles. It requires us to exhaust ourselves. That's really expensive. All right, we're off. 6 hand size. We'll find out what our labor is. Best case is, I think the best case would be actually the side scheme, because I don't know, we don't always are able to do 12 damage in a single turn against Gladiator, and I'm assuming Gladiator has bad text. What's the text on Gladiator? Oh, fine. Teamwork. Text for 3 though. Yeah, we probably want to one-shot Gladiator, so probably not that. Gift of Battle, we never keep this. It's never worth it. It's way too expensive. Teamwork, it's a mid keep. It only works if we have allies, but it does sometimes let you hit breakpoints, especially if we get our first one being the one that wants threat. Avenge Me, situational. Genius, we like to keep a double. Allows us to play at least 1 ally on turn 1. Like Kalu. Do we keep Kalu? Kalu is 1 attack, 1 thwart, and allows us to search our deck. Maybe. Gift of Battle we don't keep. So I don't think I keep an Avenge Me because we have a Kalu. Kalu is also like not even amazing, but I think we could keep this. We have no ready so far, so if we draw Gladiator, it's actually kind of bad. We could always go grab the Hydra if we don't want to take 3 damage, instead take 2 damage. Playing Protection with Pin Down seems kind of funny because you can attach this to elites, so like pinning down the Hydra sounds really kind of cool, but that might be a multiplayer thing. This is exactly the sort of card you don't want to draw when you're setting up. I think we can hedge to keep Kalu. The big thing about Kalu too that we kind of learned in our last game is that it's nice to keep a cheap Avenger because we have 3 cards that only ready ourselves if we have an Avenger, so Kalu's fine. Gauntlets, we don't play this unless we have an extra card in hand. It's like, doesn't do anything on turn 1, like most of our cards. Son of Zeus, a bit expensive. We have the double for this. It's technically a ready, so we now have 6 damage this turn. Stinger's a cheaper ally. And a Wisdom of Athena, so not a good start. So now regardless here, the best case scenario is we grab Amadeus. I think Amadeus would be the best here. Maybe to make us a bit slow, but we'll do it. 1, 2, 1 left. So we're doing our alter ego text. 1, 2's on left. All right. I think we said that was the best one. So we're going to go grab a side scheme. So I think we're going to go ahead. There is time travel shenanigans. Notably, I guess this one comes in with 1 threat fewer, but we're not going to be able to clear this turn. Wait, how much threat do we actually have this turn? We can do, this will have 8 on it. We can do 3, 6. We didn't keep the teamwork. We have 6 threat removal this turn, so we can't clear it. So we might as well not take the acceleration, and we might as well just take the one that gives us... Oh, I don't think we want to amplify. But I think we might as well just take the one that has a crisis on it, because we're not going to be thwarting anytime soon. It has 1 more threat, but that breakpoint just doesn't matter, because we will have to take 3 activations against it no matter what. All right, target for extermination. Won't have 9 threat on it. This one will have 6, 7, 8. This one will have 9, right? Because it's 6 plus 2. Because all we have to do is add 6 additional. This one will have 9, yeah. All right, so sorry, that's targeted for elimination, which is nice. What are these? Oh, these were meant to be in the deck, excuse me. The little person icon counts as 1? Yeah, it means that we're playing, it's like, say that you drew it as if you were 1 player, not as if it's 2 plus 1, right? It's basically just saying, because it's your personal quest, treat it as if you're playing solo. right? Because in Body Pathos says, for an encounter side scheme, find an encounter side scheme that's not in play and reveal it, treating each icon in it as a 1. So it doesn't become 2+1. It's basically saying, like, if you're on 4 players, don't spawn this with like 24 threat. Only spawn it with 9. Does that make sense? I think that's how it works. Oh, it's not elimination, it's extermination. So targeted for extermination, when defeated, the player confuses their identity. That's like totally fine. All right, not much we want to do here, I guess, besides set up a bit. It's not a great hand. Actually, there's a small chance if we play Kalu that we can clear this. There is a chance that we can clear this on turn 1. You've been reading that wrong. Oh, no way. I wonder how that matters. But yeah, it's just meant to be so that when you draw the card, because it's your personal problem, it's only as if you're playing solo. It could have just said, like, as if you were playing solo, but that's technically more rules complete, I guess. We'll flip. So the thing here is with Kalu, we can look at the top 5 of our deck. I think if we get the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, or whatever it's called, we actually can clear this on turn 1. Which... it's okay. You've been making it harder? Oh no, yeah, 1 harder, I guess. So Kalu looks at the top 5. If we draw a cheap ready, we're good. Because the problem is this is a ready. Yeah, if we draw one of our readies, we can clear it. We'll try it. We'll try just maxing. So we'll play Kalu for 2. After Kalu enters play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. We can add an event. So Teamwork doesn't get us far enough, but at least there's a hit. Gift of Battle is not good. Hugin Moonin, Limitless. With Limitless, I believe we can do this. It uses our whole hand, but we are able to clear Labor turn 1. So these, we'll keep this, because now Son of Zeus, Limitless is 3/6/9 threat, and we'll get our first thing turn 1. The issue with this playline, though, is that we will not necessarily be able to easily get our second thing. So I think there's a chance that we don't grab this Limitless Stamina. I think we don't. Because hear me out, right? Sorry, I slammed that. I need to be more careful about table noise with this new microphone. If we clear this, we go 3/6/9, we clear it. We jump down to Altar Ego. We have 4 cards in hand. We can grab our next Labor. The problem is we've already swapped once per turn from Alter Ego to Hero, so we can't jump back to Hero mode again. And so we're stuck in Alter Ego. It probably is much better that we leave this at like 3 threat and instead bring it down and then clear it next turn. So next turn we can start our turn functionally in Alter Ego after we thwart it for 3, draw 4 cards, grab our next Labor, and respond. Like, I do think we don't want to clear this one on turn 1. So if that's the case, we were not going to grab... I think we're just going to grab the... like, maybe we take the Gift of Battle out of our deck, which was one of the options. The other option was Teamwork. Teamwork means we can thwart for 3, 6, 7, which doesn't hit a breakpoint. So, like, part of me wants to take the Gift of Battle out of the deck, but that's 3 Gift of Battles out of the deck. They're usually not amazing in the first cycle. Yeah, I'll just take the Teamwork out. Playing with a Herc multiplayer is so funny after like 50 minutes of personal side quests. Oh, welcome to the game. I know, but like, hey, somebody set him on some godly quests to do. Okay, so if that's the case, I think we won't... I think we'll just play Stinger. Yeah, chump blocks are totally fine. I'm so used to playing against the Infinites, so we don't want to block, but we'll be fine here. So we will thwart for 3, down to 6. We will do Teamwork and Wisdom of Athena for Son of Zeus. It's just a very expensive ready, but that's all it is. And then we'll thwart for 3 again, dropping us down to 3. And then we'll just play Stinger. We don't need to keep both of these around. We can always activate with one of them, because as long as we have one Avenger, we're good. So if Dark Beast draws the double boost card thing, we'll block with one of these. The first attack will take to our face, probably. They both have the same stats, 1/1, so not a huge difference where we send them. So I think we'll just, this doesn't matter. So we'll just use Stinger for 1, and we want to do Kalu for nothing. It's nice to always keep your allies at 1 health, because if you draw an Avenge Me, you can immediately convert them into 1 card into 2 cards. So there's also a bit of play there. We'll draw. Earth's Mightiest, there you go. That's why we keep these around. The Golden Mace, which will be +1 attack. White Tiger is pretty good, so that's a really nice draw. She's great whenever you draw her, especially when you play Expert. I like cards that get better in Expert, and Ant-Man is fine. All right, this goes to 1. The villain says, when Dark Beast activates, or mostly attacks, entirely attacks, resolve the special. The special says deal 1 damage to your identity, so we're down to 13. Dark Beast is attacking for 2 and a card. We'll just take it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We take 4 damage. Encounter card. Hunted. Great. That's perfect, because we want to be in Alter Ego, and Hunted allows us to get to Alter Ego pretty easily to deal with this. That's it. Not too bad. Okay. So there's no reason to dump our hand here. So I think we're just going to start by thwarting for 3, clearing targeted for elimination, and do all the good stuff. We get confused. If we get the thing that immediately gives us steady, that'll be really funny. This gives us a confusion when we clear it. So the player who defeated the scheme confuses their identity, and then we do all the good stuff. So in order, for the sake of completion, we randomly get a gift. 1, 2 on left. Get the middle one. Okay, we get the one that gives us piercing. I don't know if there's that much toughness in this set. So we get 1 health. We draw 4 cards when the centers play. So we have Limitless, we have Clarity, we have a Lion, and an Avenge Me. Okay, so Stinker could be sent out. Then we can choose to ready and go down to alter ego, so that's good. All right, we could go ahead and go get our next gift. In theory, if it's the one that requires us to defeat something, we can't defeat it this turn really easily because we don't have the benefit of defeating it. Still might be worth it though. But this hand draws a lot of cards. Best case, we actually draw Amadeus Cho here. Yeah. I'm still going to hit the button. It might be wrong, but we'll hit the button. So 1, 2, 3 on left. Yes. We're Cho maxing. So it's Protect Humanity. We'll go search for Cho and put Cho in play again. We have to watch out now. We're being attacked. This is the best card we could draw. So we'll get Amadeus Cho in. Sorry, I'm slamming cards on the table. I have to be really mindful of that with the new microphone. Again, if you're watching this, you might notice I have no microphone in front of me. I'm using a shotgun microphone. I did some testing already this week to make sure that sounds okay. It's not as good as the much more expensive microphone, that's for sure. But do hit me up with comments and feedback if it's too echoey, if you like the other version better, anything like that. I think we need to make something that makes sense because playing without a microphone in front of you helps a lot. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of bad microphone etiquette while I'm not used to this thing. All right, so Protect Humanity comes in with 3 counters, and every time that we defend an attack, we protect one of our allies. It takes a counter off, which is nice. Amadeus Cho can also draw a card, which no reason not to do that right now because we don't need Amadeus Cho's text. So we'll ready to draw a card or exhaust. We draw another Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So how much damage do you think we have this turn? We can attack 4 into Dark Beast. We can attack for 4, 8, 12, 16. Like, we can get through Dark Beast 1 here. I think we do. There's nothing else to do. I think we just send everything into Dark Beast 1. Like, what else are we going to do? We could decide to use Stinger for a ready, or we can use Stinger to avenge me. I think we're just going to go for the ready. So in the meantime, the cards that we're not going to play, I'm going to dump these 3 cards for White Tiger. Mind you, Stinger doesn't take up a slot. So we might as well, in theory, we want to play White Tiger actually once we defeat Dark Beast 2 to go to Dark Beast 3, but I don't think we have enough damage. I think we only have 4, 4, 4. Yeah, so we'll play White Tiger here. So after you play White Tiger from your hand, draw 2 cards. So we'll pay these 3. So we'll draw another Earth's Mightiest, unfortunately unplayable. And Strength is really nice, I think. Yeah, that's fine. And that's what we have. We want to get rid of Hunted here. So we need to get rid of a card. So 1 ready, 1 ready, 1 ready. Then we can't play the Mace. The Mace is more important. I think the Mace is going to scale well. So 1 ready, 1 ready. Play the Mace. I think we want to get rid of Hunted. So we're going to lose an activation, which is annoying, but that's fine. So I'm going to get rid of Earth Mightiest Heroes to get rid of a Hunted. Okay. Do we need Recover for 4? No, I don't think so. We'll flip out. And we'll just start swinging. Just swinging. So we're going to attack here for 4. So for 4 into Dark Beast. Cool. Down to 14. We will play the Golden Mace. And technically, yeah, I guess we don't do the next Earth Mightiest Hero so we don't waste a card. Well, Earth Mightiest Heroes to exhaust Stinger to ready ourselves. Then we'll attack for 3, plus Golden Mace makes it 4, 5 into the villain. Then we'll play Limitless Stamina to ready ourselves. And that means we can actually now thwart 1 with Kalu, so Kalu can get to the Avenge Me slot. Then we'll attack for 4 again to the villain. Down to 5. Kalu will attack or just thwart for 1 for safety, I guess. We haven't seen any advances. There's not a big break point here. Actually, 1 is a break point because we attack for 4 next turn. White Tiger, I think there's a chance we don't do anything with White Tiger. We have enough panic blockers if we need it. But the big thing with White Tiger is like she's our big thwarting card on the table. So making her thwart this turn and thwart next turn seems totally acceptable. So we'll pass. Okay, draw 4. This is again, turn 2. 1, Prince of Power. Face the Past. We're definitely going to play that because we can knock out our ally. Another line of Olympus is good with any readies, and we have 2 readies in our hand, which is great. All right, Dark Beast, 1 threat. Dark Beast's text goes, so we take 1 damage. Dark Beast is attacking for 2 and a card. It will go into Amadeus Cho, so we have to block for Amadeus Cho. So we are going to, unfortunately, we could just throw an ally in the way, but if we throw an ally in the way, Protect Humanity doesn't fire, right? It says if Hercules defended, so we have to defend here. So we're blocking for 3 because we have +1 stat, so 1, 2. Boost, oh, it's the Gladiator that we might draw eventually. If Trial by Combat is in play, deal as a face down encounter card, so that's only 2 damage. We take no damage. This goes down. We might get attacked again. Instead of War Weary just says, well, we are unfortunately stunned. We didn't get our study yet. Well, there's so many cards that start with the word war. Why did I think this was a good idea? So you are stunned. If you're already stunned, take 2 damage. Okay, that's it. I think we're going to start here with Amadeus Cho. Just to get some more options here. So we'll use Amadeus Cho to draw a card. All right, another ready. I mean, that's pretty good. We have 5 damage shots. We can't defeat Dark Beast if we play Face the Past first. So there's actually a chance that we're going to knock out Dark Beast first and then play Face the Past. We definitely play Lion of Olympus. Because now we have... Oh, we are stunned. We have to keep that in mind. So that's annoying. So I guess we don't defeat Dark Beast. I think we just go Face the Past. It draws deeper to our deck. How much of our deck is really playable here? Olympus is a fine draw. Yeah, it's not bad. A Teamwork would actually be okay here because we can attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and heal 2. I think that's okay. But yeah, the stun sucks. I think we're still going to do it. We'll play Face the Past. So we remove this from the game. We grab our Nemesis. Where is our Nemesis? Have we seen that guy? Oh, I think we left him in the last deck. Excuse me. Let's go find him. I think we did not remove him because we did Face the Past him in this deck. Yeah. So I'm going to put this here to remember that we can't attack Dark Beast. It's just Ares, who's like not particularly intimidating. Retaliate 5 health, whatever. Okay, and then we do the rest of Face the Past, which says that we ready ourselves and draw 3 cards. So we draw Son of Zeus, which is a ready plus extra damage, which is nice. We draw Avenge Me, which is perfect. We can fire it this turn. And Wonderman, which is also great. So yeah, any turn that you think you're cornered and then you draw a lot is great. Playing with a Herc player in multiplayer is funny. Sorry, I read that already. Okay. So now we want to knock out Ares. Prince of Power, some healing, which is nice. We probably should just Avenge Me out Stinger. We're going to be decking out like sooner than later. I think we have one more double, which would help us play Son of Zeus, or Olympus would be fine too. So we're going to attach Avenge Me to Stinger. Stinger is allowed to attack Ares. Technically also allowed to attack Dark Beast, because the only line on Face the Past is that we cannot attack Dark Beast. You cannot attack the villain. Wait a second. What does you mean here in this case? Is you all our cards as well? Because you in this case means our hero, not us, the player. Because I think it can mean our hero, so we can't use our events, our upgrades, our resources, and our basic. Yeah, that seems fine. 1, 2. We don't have enough. We actually do have enough damage to knock out Dark Beast. No, we don't. Okay. So we can use Stinger to thwart for 1 to draw 2 cards. We can use Stinger to attack for 1 and draw 2 cards. Attacking for 1 heals us 1, which is okay. I'm a bit scared of this because Dark Beast schemes for 3, so I think we're just going to be prudent and scheme for 1. Oh, actually, hold on. We're not going to do the Stinger. We're going to do it to Kalu, because Kalu actually takes up an ally slot. So I think it's much better if we do this with Kalu. It's the same result, but ultimately we get an ally slot back, which I think is much better for us. So Avenge Me fires, we draw 2. We draw Wisdom of Athena, which is a 2 for 4, and we finally draw our Olympus. We'll just slap it on the table. It technically is neutral this turn because we spend a card to get a resource, so it's might as well play it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Kali would be better. 100% Kali would be better. I'm just like, Sting, your job is to go, but we have 1 Avenger on the table, 1 on White Tiger, so that makes sense. All right, we're going to not play Wisdom of Athena for sure, so we'll play the Prince of Power. So unfortunately, we're going to waste some value this turn because oh no, we're stunned, so it's fine. So we'll attack. We'll get rid of the stun. We will Olympus for Limitless Stamina. So we'll ready ourselves. We're now going to attack for 3, 4. We'll use Golden Mace to make it 5, 6. And from my understanding, this is not attacking the villain, so the damage will leak through. So again, 3, 4, 5. So no damage is going to leak through. Oh, bummer. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we don't heal. That's fine. Ares is gone. We don't take Retaliate. And then I think Son of Zeus readies us, but there's not much we can do with the ready, so I think we'll just pay Wonder Man. We have the slot. Wonder Man's text is, it's not good, but we still have Teamworks in our deck, and in cases where we need to throw the damage, we will throw the damage for sure. But otherwise, we have to discard cards from our hand, so it's kind of like Blade, but slightly bigger numbers. And I think that's it. We'll keep blocking. We'll keep trucking along. Yeah, this one is the slowest one. We got it last time, which was good because we were fully set up at this point. White Tiger has nothing to do. We'll knock out Dark Beast for sure this turn. Draw 4. Teamwork, there you go. Maria Hill. Slingshot, Blade, so mostly allies, no Avenge Me's. We have 1 more card draw with Amadeus Cho, and if we get double attacked, we unfortunately cannot clear this. Because the only way to clear this is you need Herc's Helm, because if Dark Beast attacks and then attacks again, we'll be exhausted. So Herc's Helm is really, really good. Unfortunately, it's in our bottom 4 cards. All right, goes to 1. Dark Beast attacks, which means we have to take a damage because of Blue Area of the Moon. So it's for 2 and a card. We will block for 3 with the Lion. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5 is Appeal for Athena, so we don't have to deal with that. We'll take 2, and we'll take 1 off Protect Humanity. It's War Star. I don't know what this does. When revealed, discard the top card in the counter deck. Okay. If that card was of an Imperial Guard minion, reveal it. Otherwise, resolve the special ability in the setting environment. So Blue Area of the Moon, again, we just take 1 more damage. So we're getting a bit beat up. Luckily, when we finish Protect Humanity, we'll be flipped down so we can recover. But yeah, that's just constant, unending damage. If the next one that we get to, which we could this turn, is the one that gives Retaliate 1, that's a bit bad, I guess, but we'll be fine. So this is War Star, just 5 health. And 5 health is slightly tricky to do healing on. We're going to need to do Teamwork to Wonder Man, but we can heal our way through War Star relatively well. Oh, this should have a counter on it. All right, so we are exhausted. Wait, we were exhausted? Why did we do what we did? I guess we had to, but yeah, this sucks that we have Teamwork in our hand, but we are exhausted. Okay. Not great. We can advance Dark Beast by just White Tiger Wonder Man. I want to ready ourselves really bad because we can do Prince of Power Golden Mace and that's some healing. If we look at the bottom 4 of the deck, we have literally no readies in it besides Hugin and Moonin. So it's unlikely we're going to be able to attack this turn. So that's not good. That's bad because now we're wasting so much value. So if that's the case, our friends probably have to take care of War Star. Yeah. Oh, we can draw 1 more with Amadeus. Hold on, we'll start there. Amadeus has a chance at drawing something good. So we draw Herc's Helm. That's good at least. We'll play that. So we'll just play it always. So this is unfortunately slightly too late, but it's still a really good card. So this allows us to defend without exhausting and reduce some damage. Really cool design. Our ally slots are full. We want to get White Tiger out, but unfortunately we never activated her. We could have probably attacked for 2 last turn. We probably should have. Yeah, because getting her into the bin is so good because Dark Beast will be on 3 side. This is a big mistake on our part. That being said, we can over-install her, which we probably will, and just trash her. So I think we're going to do attack for 2 into War Star. Yeah, I think we'll do. And then we'll actually activate with Wonder Man. Wonder Man will attack for 3. And after Wonder Man attacks, you must discard a card from your hand. It's not random. We'll get rid of Teamwork and then knocks out War Star. Just to get White Tiger back in the deck now, we'll do Olympus +2 for a full health Slingshot. Mind you, if you ever do this, you're not considered to defeat the minion, so you don't actually fire Avenge Me. But we have a Slingshot. She's good. Okay. This is a 1 threat, which is fine. We have
2 Avengers on the table, which is fine. We are a bit hurt, which is not fine. But I think we'll just use Slingshot to do 2 damage to Dark Beast so that we can defeat Dark Beast without having to use our Golden Mace. We have a Hugin coming up. I think that's it. And we're going to be able to be an Alter Ego, which is a bit scary. So actually, instead of 2 damage, we probably should clear this to 1, just so there's a chance that when we defend and we end up in Alter Ego, we don't get an advance and we get cooked. Because this is a bad time to jump down to Alter Ego, which is technically optional because we draw 2 encounter cards. So instead of attacking for 2, we go thwart for 1, just to give us a bit of safety. Because we could just like straight lose totally solo style by jumping down to Alter Ego into 2 encounter cards. And we'll pass. Draw 3. It's the Gift of Battle, which will be cheap. Energy and Hugin, we get a card. We haven't seen any advances or any evil geniuses, so the chance of the villain like thwarting twice on us is like not 0. It's not super high. And we're owed 1 more card here. We would really like to get the what's it called? The Golden Fleece thing. Oh, it's not that, is it? The one that gives us steady and +2 health. The Lenian Lion, I think it's called. The Lion's Mane. All right, ready. That's good. Yeah, we wasted a lot of value there. We could have like knocked out and healed, but being exhausted into that round was not great. All right, this goes to 1. Dark Beast activates, so we have to take a damage, and is attacking for 2 in a card. Now we might as well both exhaust and do Herc's Helm. Yeah, the Nemean Lion, thank you. The reason why is we're going to ready at the end of this attack, so we might as well use this. So we're technically defending for 3. 1, 2. 3 on War Weary, so we are stunned. So we take no damage, but we're stunned. So now we really want the Nemean Lion. So now we have a couple triggers here. Firstly, Protect Humanity pops. We get a random boon. We ready ourselves. Random boon. Where's my boon die? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. We got it. Sick. That's really good, especially because we're both stunned or confused. So we now get +2 hit points, which we appreciate that. And we are now steady. So the stunned or confused no longer work. We will also now choose to flip down to Alter Ego. And we'll draw 4 cards. So a Genius, Teamwork, Wisdom, and a Maria. So Wisdom will at least clear that if bad things happen. That's it. We're in Alter Ego now with 2 encounter cards. First one, Trial by Combat. Okay, cool. Hinder 1, so comes in with 3 threat. When defeated, shuffle each Imperial Guard minion in the counter deck into the counter deck. We don't mind that. We actually like minions. That's good for us. Oracle's here. 3 health, Teamwork. When revealed, you are confused. We are actually properly confused now. If you were already confused, which we technically weren't, because the first confused no longer counts as truly confused if you're steady, resolve the special ability. And it's all us. Now what's really funny here is we know guaranteed that the next trial spawns a big old Gladiator with 12 health. The question is whether we can defeat Gladiator with 12 health while doing all the other stuff that we want to do. My guess is yes. I don't think we have to do the math anymore. We can definitely defeat Gladiator this turn. And because we did our trial in the villain phase, we are still going to get the reward and all the good stuff. So I think we're just going to full send it here. Our hand looks good. We have 1 ready. We'll probably draw another ready soon. So let's just do it. Let's just grab this, put it into play. Defeat the Hydra. By the Hydra, we're going to do some classic gladiatorial combat against the Gladiator. 6 extra health. We need to defeat the Gladiator. Oh, wait. Teamwork will fire here, right? Wait, is Teamwork when revealed or when put in play? Because this reveals it. I think Teamwork actually does fire here. So that means that Gladiator was schemed for 2. That's fine. I'm not going to stress it, but I do think Teamwork actually fires here and Gladiator will activate against us, which is just scheme for 2. Not the end of the world. In theory, we could have knocked out Oracle first. Whatever, this will be fine. Okay, great. So now we have stuff to do. Feels like we can center ourselves out a wee bit. Gladiator is elite? No, it doesn't matter. Oh, no, it does matter. No. Crunk, I didn't realize that. Why? Find a non-elite minion. Why won't it allow us to fight elite minions? Why is Gladiator elite? Yeah, good catch. Okay. So we actually have to go get the Hydra. Bummer. I don't like the Hydra. The Hydra has 12 health, but the Lernian Hydra is a bit harder to deal with. Good catch. I would not have seen that. Yeah, Proof Frog, thank you as well. So 12 health. This thing's a bit harder to deal with. I was less excited to deal with this one because it does just take cards out of hand way more aggressively, but it's something we can deal with. Here you have to start doing the math on the breakpoints. Physicals in our hand, we only have one, and it's the Gift of Battle that we're probably going to play. So the Lernian Hydra is probably going to heal 4. So you can imagine this like it has 16 health, which like is still doable, I guess. All right, that's fine. We flip up. Oh, do we recover 4? No, I don't think we can afford to recover 4 here. The Hydra only attacks for 2, which is like not that bad. But we have, let's draw with Cho first and see what happens. So we're not going to use Cho's text. Oh, sorry, Cho's stats. So we'll draw a line of Olympus. That's perfect. That is a huge help because not only is it a physical, but more likely it's going to hit a breakpoint. I think you have to do the math here of the breakpoints. It's a bit hard without like slowing down the stream a fair bit. But line of Olympus, we'll probably just play it. So now we technically can attack for 3, 4, 5, 6 into the Hydra, and then we can attack again for 6 with teamwork, and we just have to spend 1 physical. So we should be able to do this. Let's flip up. Do we recover? We need to do 2 attacks. So we can do Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's the only ready we have, so we can't recover. And then we're hoping that we draw into, what's it called? Son of Zeus card soon. Okay, so we flip up. We will attack. 3, 4, Golden Mace. So we're attacking for 6 into the Lernian Hydra. Take 6, but its text now kicks in. In theory, we should pay for this. So I'm going to pay a physical, so it can't do its text and can't heal, because we should be able to one-shot it. Well, now Earth, or technically new 2-shot it. Well, Earth Mightiest Heroes will exhaust Stinger to ready ourselves. Then we will attack for 3, and we'll play Teamwork, which works really well with Wonder Man. So we'll exhaust Wonder Man, and so Wonder Man can help us on our own journey, and we're attacking for 6 to knock out the Hydra. Not too bad. Its text doesn't matter because it's defeated, and we get to do the good stuff. So we defeated the Hydra. So we are now going to get Retaliate 1, +1 health off the Shield of Perseus. And we retaliate. We're going to ready ourselves. We're not going to jump down to Alter Ego. We'll draw 4 cards. We have the Gauntlets. We have the Lion. Strength. Another ready would be good. And we didn't. We get a Gift of Battle. Yeah, no Son of Zeus, no other ready. Actually, is kind of ugly here. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, I guess we could Hugin and Moon in. But yeah, no ready here is not good. So we have this many cards. How many readies do we have left? Zeus is now so good. Every ready is in our deck besides one Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And of course, the Face the Past is gone. I mean, we can Maria Hill and see what happens to draw 1 more card. But another ready is like really important. Oh no, we are ready. I just want to ready the Golden Mace because that's our healing. Do we just win this turn? Yeah, I think we just win this turn. Nah, no shot. All right. Okay. No Avenge Me. The only card draw we have is 1 Maria Hill. Yeah, that's fine. The only ally, we can replace an ally, no problem. I think we will. So I think we're just going to start doing damage. We can now attack for 4. Slingshot attacks for 2. Dark Beast can get advanced to the next Dark Beast. We can also just bring our stats to 5 and then one-shot Dark Beast. That's probably fine too. We obviously need to knock out Oracle, but that's not a problem. We have 5 damage in our hand. I just think there's a chance we might be able to win, but it's like super predicated on us drawing a Son of Zeus here because that's really, really good. Hugin is also really good because we have 2 readies. Yeah, let's figure this out. We'll play another Lion. Technically, sorry, all minions have guard. That is the text on Blue Area of the Moon, so we can't just send it into Dark Beast, which we were just about to. So I think we're going to replace Stinger. We still have an Avenger on the table. Oh wait, we can't replace Stinger because Stinger is an extra. I think we will. Stinger was exhausted? Yeah. I think we will thwart 2? I think we'll thwart 2. No, we might as well attack 2. Yeah, we might as well attack 2 in Oracle because then Maria Hill can finish that Oracle. Slingshot's defeated. Well, not defeated. We're just going to replace Slingshot with Maria Hill. So Maria Hill draws a card. It's a ready, but we don't have an exhausted Avenger. Okay, so not actually good. Mind you, Maria Hill is just shield, but now Oracle's not a problem. Oh, I forgot we were going to get rid of this, but we were confused. So it might have been right to thwart that instead. That's too bad. I don't think we actually care about that text too much. Yeah, Earth's Mightiest is no good. So if that's the case, she will thwart too. She will leave. The chance Amadeus Cho is the worst thing here. And then we'll go ahead and play Hugin and Moonin for 2. And then we'll fire Hugin and Moonin's text here, which this might ready a bunch of people. So we actually have like 2 readies potentially in this. Because if we ready Stinger, we're in a good spot. So after Hugin and Moonin enters play, search the top 10 cards. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for a minion. And based off the boost icons on that minion, we can ready that many characters. I think Masters of Evil will become a more popular encounter set. Whirlwind is easy mode. Yeah, Masters of Evil is so easy. Big health, but not good text is great. Okay, so we have Manta readies 1 card. Earthquake readies 2. Oh, Teamwork will fire. Hold on. Hugin says, put that into play, engage with you. So, firstly, we don't do the when revealed on Earthquake, but does anyone know? Bataffer, how's it going? Does Teamwork fire on reveal or enter play? At the end of the day, if it's this, Earthquake just attacks us for 2, which is fine. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. But is Teamwork on reveal or enter play? That I don't know. Give me 1 second. Not to check, but 1 moment. Teamwork text, hold on. We have a Teamwork deck. After minion with Teamwork enters play and engages a player. Okay, so it'll fire here. So Teamwork now says Earthquake will activate against us. Mind you, we can ready 2 characters. We'll ready Stinger and... Oh, we were already ready? What are we doing? Wait, we played Hugin and Moonin when we were ready? Obviously, we shouldn't do that. That was not it. Because Hugin and Moonin was meant to ready us, but I forgot we were ready. So I guess we should have just attacked the only character we can attack, which was Oracle for 5. So we like messed that up really badly. Now the Teamwork won't matter. And then Hugin and Moonin readies Stinger and us. That was a terrible. Apologies for that. I thought we were exhausted. I think we weren't. In theory, we can also Prince of Power here, which we should. Yeah, that was rough. So we attacked 5 into 1, so we get Recover 4. That's really good. Okay, that means Earthquake won't fire Teamwork, which is more important, and we can do double ready. So this is good. Okay, still got it. No more card draw here, but we're just going to fly through things. So we're going to attack for 3, 4, 5 into Earthquake. Okay. Hugin and Moonin's now going to thwart for 1, which will clear Trial by Combat. This actually, because we did the ordering, will shuffle back the Imperial Guards into the deck, which I don't mind. So I actually want to do that in the right order. We like mid-range minions. So we have to shuffle in every Imperial Guard. I think we saw 4 of them. Yeah, that's good. We actually like mid-range minions a fair bit. We're good at knocking them out. Okay. We still have Olympus, which like I don't know how to use. We drew too many doubles, so it wasn't like super necessary. And I think we'll knock out Dark Beast here as well. Okay. So next we will... I'm not sure if Dark Beast 3 has toughness, so I think we're just going to play Gift of Battle. And find out. Gift of Battle. The Gift of Battle? The Gift of Battle. So this just does 5 damage to Dark Beast, so knocks out Dark Beast, and we advance. Dark Beast 3. Force Interrupt. When Dark Beast would attack you, do the special. Classic. Has 22 health. And when revealed, we reveal a random set aside. One of these 2. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 on left to go to Dinosaur Land, 4, 5, 6 to go to Genosha. We're going to Dino Land. So blue area of the moon gets knocked out. And we now have Savage Land. So this will add some additional damage. Has Retaliate. So specials now discard the top 3 cards of our deck. We don't really care about that. That doesn't matter. We've set up so there's not like any cards we're missing. It just like adds some variance to what every deck cycle can do. And then we'll shuffle these dinosaurs, which now there's a lot of minions in the deck. Some of them do have Quick Strike, which we have to watch out for Amadeus Cho, but that's mostly it. Otherwise, 22 health. Oh, I think we forgot to do this text. Oh man, we definitely forgot to do this text on turn 1 of the game. So I'm going to just like try and catch up now. That's actually not good. But I think we forgot to deal ourselves an extra encounter card on turn 1, which Dark Beast 2 probably wanted you to do. I think we forgot to do that. Maybe we didn't. I'm pretty sure we might have. Too bad. Not much we can do about it. But we'll deal ourselves 1 encounter card here at a minimum. It's like we could deal ourselves 2 encounter cards just to be like, that's fair. I guess that's the closest we have to fair. But an encounter card on turn 1 is way worse than an encounter card on turn 5 or whatever this is. All right, we'll play Wisdom of Athena. It's free. That's just to get rid of the confuses. Okay. We should start attacking. So we will play Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So we will exhaust Stinger to ready ourselves. We will attack for 5 into the villain. We'll take Retaliate 1. That was Recover 1, not Retaliate 1, excuse me. So we'll take 2. And then we'll play Gauntlets of Hercules, which just means now we have Retaliate 4. So that's pretty good. And we'll throw out the energy because we can't use it, and we'll pass. 1, 2, 3. So we probably want to be ready during this activation. There's a big chance that Dark Beast will attack with 2 boost cards, and that's why we have these allies. But that should be it. We'll draw 4. We have Avenge Me. Love to see it. Gift of Battle is 5 damage. That helps us win. Limitless Stamina is like functionally 6 damage. Son of Zeus is an extra 6 damage. So as long as we survive this turn, we do win. Does Hercules remind you of SPDR a little? For me, that's Focus Path from having so little to be able to do everything. Yeah, like I think a lot of the build-up heroes do kind of remind you of one another. Like this reminds me of Ironheart, kind of reminds me of Iron Man, definitely reminds me of SPDR. I think the difference here though is like, oh, maybe that's not the case. SPDR is interesting. Like SPDR has a lot more modality to her pieces, the way they can use them as resources to increase your stats. Like I think that's a bit different. This one feels like once you're set up, you're like super set up. I think that might be slightly different. But I think the payoff to setting this up is much better than the payoff to setting up SPDR. But yeah, they're similar. All right, Dark Beast is going to attack for 2 and a card. The special discards a Teamwork, a Limitless, and an Ant-Man. So it's attacking for 2 and a card. Herc's Helm can block without blocking. That means we can still do our Massive Retaliate. I think we'll start there, because we probably want to use their buff defense stat on the one that has 2 boost cards, because there's a chance we're overblocking at 4 defense. So attacking for 1-2. Excuse me. Boost. It's Gladiator, so fine. This doesn't do anything. Trapped by Combat is not in play. So we only take 1 damage, but we can do Gauntlets of Hercules here. In theory, you could keep this for a quick striking minion, but you have to defend against it. So we will now do Retaliate 3 plus 1, which is Retaliate 4 to the villain, which is an absurd amount of damage. We'll try and catch up with our 3 encounter cards here. Oracle's back. I did shuffle these. When revealed, you're confused. That doesn't matter. How bad of a job did I do shuffling? The second one is another one. No, we did fine. Cruel Experimentation. Sorry, Experiment. Attached minion gets plus 2 hit points and guard. Okay. They used to all have guard. Now only Oracle's a guard. 5 health is a good breakpoint. Oh, sorry. Doesn't happen here. Discard cards from the top of the counter deck until you discard a minion. Reveal that minion. Okay. Got rid of an advance. Evil Genius. That's really good. Village under attack. Second advance. That's absurdly good. Second Evil Genius. Those were really good discards. That's the only way we lose here. We have a Manta, which I think Teamwork is now going to fire. So when revealed, discard cards from the top of the counter deck until you discard a minion. Reveal that minion and attach. Because I think it says it and, I think it happens at the same time is my guess. So this thing has 6 hit points and guard. And then we have to do Manta's text because it was revealed. So you are stunned, which now we are truly stunned. And now it's going to go ahead and attack us for 3 because it has Teamwork. So I think we'll just go ahead and technically attacks Cho. Yeah, technically attacks Cho here. That's fine. Thanks, Cho. Cho is knocked out. Doesn't matter. Cho is knocked out. Thanks, bud. Take one for the team. Velociraptor has Quick Strike. It's going to come for Cho as well. So Quick Strike, when Velociraptor attacks, you discard the top card of your deck. Gets plus 1 attack for each resource, so it's attacking for 2. Totally acceptable. So we'll just go ahead and take 2. And we'll do 1 Retaliate damage off our base Retaliate. All right. That's, 3 encounter cards. Kind of what you expect. I just want to check whether we want to keep Stinger around. It's super dependent. I guess Hugin and Moonin we have no reason to keep around. So I think we put Avenge Me on the Hugin and Moonin. We play Son of Zeus for free with Olympus, Limitless Stamina. We'll see what we draw with Hugin and Moonin. So all we have to do is 13 damage to Dark Beast. These two don't matter. The problem is Manta has guard. Our first attack is going to be eaten by stun, so I think we just have to kind of like bite the bullet on that. So yeah, I mean it's wasteful, but like this hand we want to play Gift of Battle because it's free. We want to play Son of Zeus with Olympus, and we want to use Limitless Stamina first before we play Son of Zeus, because then we can ready the mace twice. So I think we actually do just attack with Hugin and Moonin in kind of a wasted way into Manta. It technically does overkill damage on our basic attack, so we're not wasting damage, but we'll attack with 1 from Hugin and Moonin, and then we'll draw 2 with Avenge Me. So we want to just draw Wisdom, whatever. Kalu, not whatever, but kind of whatever. All right, we will attack to clear the stun. We will play Wisdom of Athena for Limitless Stamina, so we just ready ourselves. So we're ready. Oh, these are gone, mind you. Okay, seems good. So now we'll attack into Manta. We'll attack for 3, and we'll use the Golden Mace to make it 6 with Overkill, and we're going to heal a bit. So 6 damage, Manta takes 5, Dark Beast takes 1, and because it's not a direct attack, we don't take Retaliate. We did 1 overkill damage, so I guess we'll just Prince of Power here to recover 1. All right, we're on 8. Next, we'll use Olympus to do Son of Zeus. So this is why we did this ordering, so we can get all parts of this. So we have 3 gifts, so we draw a card. That's amazing. We get a Toughness, which we'll lose to the Retaliate, not that it matters. And we can ready, not that, an identity-specific card. So of course, we'll ready the one that gives us 3 more damage. All right, we have more than enough damage to close the game out here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, right? 6? Wait, do we? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, just enough. So we'll attack for 3, 6 into Dark Beast. Mind you, they don't have guard. So the villain takes 6 here. We take Retaliate 1 off of our Toughness. We'll just go ahead and play a free Gift of Battle, which is just 5 damage to the villain. We take Retaliate 1. We'll play Limitless Stamina to ready ourselves. And we'll finish attacking the villain for 3 more. Got him pretty fast. That was less than 2 cycles of the deck. We again got all 3 of our labors, and once you're at that point, like we can put out probably 20 damage just about every turn. It is dependent on you drawing your readies, and again, with things like Golden Mace, the readies are so important. Otherwise, that's another big thing with any character that stats are the big thing you do. Readies are so important also because it's the one way that you can beat stun or confuse, right? Because we were both steady and stunned, and so just more readies means we don't waste all of our track on the middle. We had technically a bit more damage on the table. We can't actually use Wonder Man because we have no cards in hand. It's an additional cost. It's not like Blade where you can discard Blade. So yeah, Wonder Man we couldn't use. Stinger technically is 1 more damage. Not too bad. Again, this deck list, shout out to, I want to make sure I get the name right, Portino's decks, and there's an aggression version. Definitely check those out. That's very much what this is, basically the same deck. I made some minor changes where I took out some of the cards that make you discard your allies because I like Avenge Me to do its thing. And I think I'm playing Wonder Man, which actually I think works really well in the deck, especially for a cheap Avenger, and works well with teamwork. Hercules has been way more fun and way more consistent than I think anyone might have imagined, which is like cool. I really like that a lot. Wonder Man is probably where we're going to come back next week. The problem is this week, I don't know if we're going to have a lot of time to do any video content or any testing. I think there's a small chance Thursday afternoon during like the weekday, we might be able to do a Marvel Champions stream because I have the week off and we're going to be streaming that evening Netrunner, well, in the evening. So that afternoon might just be free for everybody, which is going to be good. People in chat have been really excited about Protection Hercules. If you have a list and you want to send it my way, I'd love to try it. I guess I can show you some of the lists I've been working on. Hold on 1 second. Because I do have my Marvel CDB open. They're not well named or anything. I only like well named things once I'm going to share them. Marvel CDB was really chugging yesterday in the afternoon. I don't know if anyone else is on it. It was really hard to do anything. Hopefully it's a bit better. I'm struggling to log in, so maybe it's not the case. Yeah, hold on. If it loads, I'll show you. But I can show you some of the protection starts I have if they did save. I hope they do save. But like the idea is like play Repurpose to get your stats up to ready yourself. The issue with Repurpose is I can't tell whether you want to just play like the cheap Energy Shield, which is not a card I love, or whether you want to play, you know, Energy Barrier, which is a fair bit more expensive. Oh, not that. It's Energy Shield. But this card's like the cheapest way to turn on repurpose. It's just like all these cards don't help you get your labors immediately, which kind of hurts. It wasn't just me with how slow it was yesterday. Yeah, it was like unplayably slow yesterday. I started just building in paper because it was way too hard. Right now, it seems to be the same case. If you're on Marvel CDB, the pages are taking about a minute to load. Oh, that one wasn't that bad. I don't know. I can't log in. It's pinwheeling. Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out. Unfortunately, because of the Netrunner stuff going on, I won't have a video this week. Usually we try and put things out on Fridays or modernly Wednesdays. We'll definitely come back to that. I am owed to do a stream where we show off the Strength and Diversity Phoenix deck that we showed off on the winning hand, which is a really fun deck. Okay, hold on. It kind of loaded. Yeah, hold on. This loaded. So this is the list that I currently was working on. Hercules Protection ? Not to bury the lead of what I think about this. So the two things I wanted to try with Hercules Protection. First thing was to play Taunt. And Taunt is a really nice way to help you protect your way out of, protecting Amadeus and speed that up. It also just draws you more cards, which is good. The issue is like you have to exhaust to defend. So I don't know whether you want to play Indomitable in the deck, but that's like a thing. We're playing Face the Past, Limited Stamina. This one is not playing many allies, let alone Avengers. So we're not playing the Earth's Mightiest Heroes or whatever that cheap ready card is. And that is not great. I think readings are so important that it's going to be hard to kind of like, stomach that. Of course, we're playing Repurpose, which is the other ready. But for this, we need a tech card. And our kit has no tech cards, so we have to start playing things. So maybe it's Energy Shield. Here I'm playing Energy Barrier. But spending, 3 out of your 4-card hand to play Energy Barrier seems like a tough sell for sure. The big thing about this deck is that why Protection might work out is Ready for Fight is really good. Just because jumping down in Hercules into Alter Ego is nice if you need to get your labors at the right time, as much as you can plan around that, actually. I said that earlier today, it's hard to jump into Alter Ego. As long as you're planning your labors, it's not that hard. But this means that we can jump down to Alter Ego and have a 6-card hand size consistently, which does help a lot. So we're not playing a 4 hand size character as much as possible. That being said, spending half of your hand just to set up Ready for Fight does not sound amazing. In the same way that Avenge Me is 1 card to draw 2 cards, this is technically 2 cards to draw 2 cards, which maybe that doesn't make sense. I don't know. What doesn't kill me technically also makes sense if we're taking damage and getting attacked more, because this is one of the readies you have in protection. But yeah, that's where I got to so far. This is not like the Change of Fortune Retaliate deck, which again, I think once you're at the point where you have Retaliate 4, the game's over. So while I might think that's fun, that might not be amazing. And then we're playing Patriot and Professor X. Patriot's really nice, and it was an Avenger that works really well with teamwork type stuff, which we're not playing in this. But this just seems like this so much seems like the last deck we just played, but less consistent. I don't know. That's my struggle with Hercules. I think for her builds to be interesting, you need to really build into it. But Hercules does not seemingly encourage you to build into anything besides readies. I don't know. Hey Jackie, how's it going? The new mic setup works. Your channel's awesome, and I'm happy to ride along to test out what works best for you. Take care. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback again. Let me know about the microphone. I'm excited to listen to the tapes. There's going to be some growing pains for sure, but I can move my hands. That feels good. I talk with my hands a lot. I would send you my link, but I don't think chat links work. Sniper, what you can do, try to send your link by obfuscating it. So instead of sending your link, send just the last numbers at the end. Hold on, the URL, send whatever the back code is, and then I can paste that in, because it doesn't flag it as a URL. It's fun as leadership. That's not tutor recursion or broke allies, which is usually where my brain goes. Yes, I like that so much. Is that the leadership build that we played today is not a very heavy leadership chump blocking. We in fact block a lot, and I like that so much more. Where you're actually playing the leadership cards without swinging into the chump blocking too much. And if you want to try something else, again, we were playing Portino's list is a big part of how we got here. But if you want to check out, Portino has another list. I probably shouldn't move my mic. It's probably really quiet when I'm looking my head over there. But Portino also published an aggression version, which is what I'm excited to play next. And it's the same sort of idea, right? It's not about setting up as much as this deck does have the Quinn Carrier in it, but it's about toe-to-toe as a nice way to protect yourself. I also you'll pay for that because we do take attacks to the face, and this is a way that we can remove threat from either the main scheme or technically also from the side scheme. So this is a nice aggression card to help you deal with your embodied pathos. Then you have some allies as well, which is cool. 11273882, thank you. It's not published yet? Okay, let's see if I can copy that in. I think it should work. Give me one moment. I have to struggle with all my screens. That didn't work. Hold on one second. Found it. Like Tears and Rain, not published. Wasteland Sniper, exclusive reveal. So what are we looking at here? Yeah, Brother Voodoo, really good. This is good because there are some Avenger allies you want to play, and Brother Voodoo is great. Victor Mancha and Protector also. Protector is a bit too expensive for me, but Victor Mancha, when I was playing the Earth Mightiest Heroes, made a lot of sense because it is a utility piece and it's a cheap Avenger. You like all parts of that. Machine Man as a resource sink. Again, we were at the end of the game throwing out extra resources because you have so many resources with Olympus, and then our energy, genius, and strengths get extra. So I see Machine Man working well, the same way that also like maybe Dumpster Dog works well. Bait and Switch, another nice way to get yourself attacked for threat. So similar to Taunt, but threat instead of card draw. I think you need to test out which one works, but that makes a lot of sense. Counterpunch, cool. Yeah, you have a good attack stat. I like Counterpunch a fair bit. After your hero defends, and you have to defend, you do 3 damage back. Now it has to be the enemy that attacked you, right? Yeah. But that's cool, right? Like you can have 4 attack, no problem. You can defend for 3 if you have your Lion of Olympus. Like this makes sense. That's really, really cute. I like that a lot. Reboot to ready your androids, which Victor Mancha and Protector and Machine Man. Yeah, this seems like a hard slot because it's like very situational based off of being set up, but I could see this being quite good. You also heal from them, which is a nice kicker. And then what else do we have? Quinn Carrier. I can't tell. This deck had Clarity of Purpose in it and we never played it. And that's maybe because we're popping off super soon. I think there's a chance the slower your deck is at completing the labors, the more you might need this. But I honestly think Quinn Carrier might be too expensive for the deck. Maybe testing will tell. And then you're doing a Ready for Fight Singleton. I can dig it. I like that a lot. Indomitable makes sense if you're blocking. You need to be ready as much as possible for all your stuff. I wonder what the Honorary Avenger text is for. Sniper, why do we need to Honorary Avenger somebody? Is there an interaction, or is just giving more health to Victor Mancha that good? This looks cute. Counterpunch works even if you use the helmet. Yeah, you technically blocked. With the helmet, it's quite nice. And it's another thing where if you increase your strength, this gets nice. If you increase your text. I wish this had an energy icon because I think you'd also want to consider playing this in Wonder Man, but unfortunately it's physical. It's for Cho. Oh, for Cho. 1 more health on Cho matters? I've been really iffy on Quinn Carrier. Yeah, me too. I can't tell if you want to play a card like this that's this slow. Like anytime that you draw this in hero mode, you can't play it. And then your hand is better spent at completing your labor. So I don't get this card, usually in these builds. Which like, it's really genuinely cool that we have a character that like totally shirks standard card building or deck building ideas. Oh, to ready on Cho? Oh, is that good? Because you have to exhaust Cho, right? Do you want to exhaust Cho? I guess you have fewer allies in this deck, so you probably need more targets. I think you could consider playing Patriot, because Patriot's just good, as much as Patriot is often blocking, which isn't what you want. Yeah, it makes it more flexible. I hear that, but then like you're trading the ready for the card draw. And I think the card draw is probably a bit more useful. I don't know. I'd have to test it. It's not something that I think would be like an obvious inclusion, but it's something that now that you're saying it, I'm more interested in trying out. But yeah, I guess there's a chance. Everybody else is an Avenger for sure, right? Oh no, Machine Man. You could also make Machine Man an Avenger. Neat. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. I think readying yourself is the most important thing, and I think you got there. If you can play it, I would highly recommend, even if you go to 41 cards, like play Face the Past. Your Nemesis is not really a big problem, and readying +3 cards is exactly what you want. It's really, really good. It's nice to have the choice. Yeah, I could hear that. I could hear it's nice to have the choice. I'm just like so scared of cards like this that are a bit like situational, because I think every card needs to matter when you have a 4-card hand size. That being said, I need to always say this in context. Like most of the time when I'm talking about like the sort of things that I play around, it's almost always predicated on playing expert. If you're playing on standard or any other difficulty, you have a lot more flexibility where not every card has to matter as much. Also, if you're not playing solo, like with solo, if your hand is not good, you don't do anything. And so cards like this are a bit more expensive when you play solo and harder difficulties, but that might not be your case. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's sick. FTP isn't a card I think about because I never use it, but I didn't give it a try. Oh my God. I almost always, when I start building any deck, I'm like, can I play Face the Past in it? Because I think the card is so damn good. But I also think it's fun because it allows you to interact with your Nemesis. And like the Nemesis doesn't show up all the time. And I think it's a fun extension of the hero kit design. So I'm like such a big Face the Past fan. I think it's like one of the best cards printed in a while. Cool. It's 1 o'clock, so we got there just on time. Again, all the deck lists that I played, I will link in the description. Sniper, if you want me to link this deck list in the description, please just let me know between now and I guess the next 20 minutes. If not, no big deal. But that's mostly it. We have nothing really coming up, unfortunately, in the works when it comes to video content for the next little bit because we've been really busy. Netrunner new set drop on Monday is going to be a big deal. If you want to come check out some Netrunner, you can search the Metropole grid. We try to make it as accessible as possible, kind of similar to this if you want to drop in for that. Otherwise, we will definitely be back next Sunday, same time, same place. And I'm assuming we're going to be focusing a bit more on Wonderman to see what that looks like. That's mostly it. Thanks so much for hanging out. If you want to support the channel, leaving a like on the VOD, leaving a comment is really, really nice. I usually should respond to comments, usually like on Sundays and or sometime in the middle of the week. I'm not always logged into YouTube, so if it takes some time to respond to comments, that's just how I interact with social media. So be patient with me there. But I really appreciate the comments, and the community's been really quite nice to talk to. I think that's it. If you are in Canada, you're probably getting Wonderman and Hercules this week. Good luck, have fun. And that's mostly it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care, y'all. Ciao. Get that awkward time where you can't find your mouse and you can't close the stream.